to Sam Sharon Fagnoni, who was Kevin's sister who passed away in May. Um, we wound up with 64. We're down to the final two. So round of applause for Mike Dechaine and Warren Kiamco for making the final. It was a stellar field. Stellar field. We had the best of the best. As some of you know, Kevin came to me earlier about a month and a half, 2 months ago?
2 months ago.
And told me that he wanted to change this regular tour stop that we have here every year to a pro event. And he said, I wanted to add $11,000. So I started contacting a lot of my player friends, and they all came. So I thank you all for coming. I appreciate having all of you. And I would also like to give him a chance to say a couple of words, and also a moment of silence after that in memory of his sister before we start the event. Okay, Kevin?
Okay. Well, first I'd like to thank, I guess, everybody who's contributed to this wonderful event. Tony and Finnegan from the Predator Tour with Gail and Mandy. They did an excellent job running this event. Very difficult, as you can see. We have a homey little room, and we squeezed in 64 people and about 100 spectators trying to watch this over the last couple of days. Of course, I can't help but thank my wife, who killed herself this week to get ready.
Come here, Isabel. So everyone can see you and clap for you. Come on. Come on.
This is our family home, and this is my family with my son. And so he's probably outside in the car. He wants to drive it. He'll valet park. If anybody wants their car parked, the valet park place. But no, we truly appreciate all the players who came, who really made the effort to show up here. It really is. It touched my heart. It really made us very proud of having the event. Definitely, my sister is looking down upon us, thanking me. She's probably yelling at me right now for falling apart. She's like, "That's not what you do." But she was someone who always cared about everybody else, no matter how she felt, how sick she may have been. She always was looking to help out for other people. And so, with that, I felt this the least we could do is to have a pro event and look out for all the pros who spend their lives playing pool and trying to do the best they can, and they don't get appreciated enough. And so that's what we thought, is that at the minimum, that's what they deserve. So we hope that everybody had a good time at this event. And we wish the best of luck for Warren and for Mike as they play in the finals. And again, thanks to everybody else. Give a round of applause. As well as everybody who came today to watch this event. Thank you for showing up. I hope you enjoy the finals.
Thank you, Kevin. And I think another important mention is George Rodriguez, who's a house pro here, who had a high finish. He was also very instrumental in convincing Kevin to put this tournament together. That I heard.
Although he doesn't want to take the credit, but George deserves the credit. Someone who I think will turn out to be a great pro as he continues on his route. And so we're going to stand behind him and keep pushing.
So before we start, if we can all have a moment of silence in memory of Sharon Fagnoni, that would be awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, everyone, for coming here. It is a modified race to 13, possibly 15. Since Mike Dechaine is undefeated, we are going to 13. If he gets to 13 first, he wins the tournament. If Warren goes to 13 first, gets to 13 first.
All right, folks, there you have it. The finals is due up right now. Mike Dechaine versus Warren Kiamco. These players are ready to rock and roll. We'll thank some of the sponsors along the way, but right now the finals is what is at hand. Two great players. To come through the field that they came through is a feat in itself. And as I told you, it's either going to be a race to 13 or it's going to be a race to 15. If Warren Kiamco, coming from the B side, gets to 13, it's extended to 15. If Mike Dechaine should get to 13 first, it is over. We're going to have some guest commentators sit in the booth. I'm Upstate Al of AZB TV. We want to thank a few people real quick. Molinari Glove, molinariglove.com, Aramis, Simonis Cloth, Ozone Billiards, Ozone Billiards Supply. It's ozonebilliards.com. Don't forget, right after this, everybody's heading down to the U.S. Open, and AccuStats, Pat Fleming and the whole crew are going to be bringing you that pay-per-view. It's right there on your screen, AccuStats.com. We want to give a big shout-out to the IT guy behind the scenes, always hidden, Ron Mason, Gotham City Technologies. Joe Tucker, joetucker.net. Get over there and learn everything you want about the inside and the outside of the rack. Don't forget, we'll be heading up to Providence, Rhode Island, also November 21st through the 22nd. But prior to that, we got the Steinway Classic coming up, and what a classic that's going to be. It's the 4th annual, coming up November 1st through the 3rd, 128 strong coming into the play. We got to get back to the match because these guys seem like they're raring to go, and we'll get back to the Steinway Classic.
Mike has been raring to go. He's been asking for the last 15 minutes. When do we start?
Yeah, he's ready. Sitting in the hot seat. He's been waiting for quite a while. And maybe we're going to have Tony Robles and Lori John also sit in with us, and possibly Allison Fisher. We will do some interviews after this. Hopefully, first, second, and third place
Players
will hang in there.
Yeah, I think Allison is out trying to talk to Jason, try to get him in, so to recruit him. Besides her, I know she's taking some
pictures. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off with the lighting, but we'll try. If we can't, then we can't. I think it's better we don't do the interview after. Actually, we can do interviews right here in the chair.
Yeah, we could do them in the chair here as opposed to
I would love to have them.
So, Mike pushed out to a spot here. Warren has turned it back over again to Mike. He pushed to a kick shot. Come out. He was trying to put that cue behind the 2 on the backspin, and just ended up off by a couple of millimeters, and the cue leaked out on the 2. That's a nice shot by Warren. You know, he's not happy. He was hoping it would come up a little bit more, but cut the one into the side. Warren's played strong the last few matches. You saw the last one with Jason for 3rd. Before that, he had beaten Dennis Okoye and Francisco Ruiz. Actually, the Francisco Ruiz was just before Jason, and then Dennis early this afternoon for the 5th, 6th place. He's been playing fairly strong and consistent the last four matches.
All right. Mike Dechaine versus Warren Kiamco, but we got a little slight interruption here. A young lady has approached the booth and is sitting in. Amy Yu. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Al.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
What do you think about this event?
It's exciting. I wish I could be in it.
Amy was working. She goes to school and she works. She was at work, and I hope your boss isn't listening, but you were
No.
watching and working at the same time. Mike Dechaine draws first blood. 1-0. I'm going to make this scoreboard just a little bit bigger, guys, for you.
Right, so they can see it.
Well, yeah, so they
Yeah.
can see the race.
So they can see the race on the bottom,
Yeah.
right? Because remember, this is a modified race. So
Right.
if Mike gets to 9 first, he wins. If Warren gets to 9 first, they go to 13.
Watch the 5 ball here. And the 1 towards the side pocket.
Yeah, Warren is doing the cup break with the 1 to the side. He's brought the cue up in this one. Last match he was doing the same. He made the 1 on the side. 5 of the 9 breaks that he had played. So he's keeping his break fairly consistent and making a ball.
Well, you know, Kev, this is, I know you started getting a little broken up out there. I felt bad I was going to go out there and give you a big bear hug, but you're a big man. You stood up to it, and I'm sure your sister's very proud of you.
Yeah, not as proud of what I was with my sister. So
Right. This is, it's kind of sad for me that it's going to come to an end, you know, because I enjoy being here. It's like being at home, and I hate, hey, Jay, take care, safe home. Jason Klatt exiting the building. Hey, Jay.
don't forget your trophy.
We were going to do an interview with Jason, but, you know, they got to get back to Pennsylvania. Jason traveling with Angie and Darren.
And Darren, yep.
But, you know, tournament's coming to an end, especially a tournament of this caliber. You know, after spending 3 days here, well, 4 days, maybe 5 for me. I don't know. I lose count, but
Well, yeah, it'll be 4. Question of whether you'll get out tonight or
yeah, I have to. I have to
you'll-
get back.
or I should say, tonight being early tomorrow morning.
I want to go Halloween candy shopping with my granddaughter. She wants to give out candy, so I got to sit on the porch with her this year
Yep.
and give out candy. And I want to get back. I promised her.
Yeah. Well, we know what that's like. We give out candy here for Halloween. So
Right.
we've been buying candy, and we will for the next 3 weeks because
Yeah.
we're on a main commercial block, and so literally we must have a couple of thousand people come around for Halloween here.
Well, I don't know. I want to say maybe $60, $70 worth of candy, and then what happens is if you run out of candy, you just turn your porch light off and nobody comes knocking. That's the rules up by us, and they're only allowed to trick or treat a few hours at it at night, and it doesn't have to be Halloween. The town makes it like certain days, so it's pretty cool. I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
No, it's really good. It's something that they've sort of brought back again for the children. So
I love it.
to go through. More and more cities throughout the U.S. are celebrating Halloween. It's become a much bigger event.
Amy, any Halloween parties coming up?
Yeah, but I have to study for my exams, which is also midterm time.
Stop with
so.
the priority stuff. Parties are more important. It's a nice shot. Slide the cue ball right up table. Very nice. It's not easy to get in that position for that 3 ball like that, and I don't even know if the 3 will go from there. Mike's standing right in the way, or maybe we can get a shot if he moves over.
Yeah. No, Mike is looking at it. It may go. The problem he's going to have is he's going to come off that 7 ball, right behind it, and he's trying to get to the 4, which is on the same rail as the 3. It's just down further. Let's see. I'm looking more that I would play the safe here.
I like that option.
and have the 3 come back out past the 5 and the
Towards
cue
the
be there.
towards the 8, yeah.
Yeah,
and
but it
just
looks like
stick
he looks like he's banking the 3 the way he's queuing. No, he played the safe, going down behind the 7.
And he's left, I believe, just Warren
Warren-
can actually spin this if you
Yeah,
can't
I think
see
Warren
it.
will spin it again, or unless he can he's got a quarter of a ball to jump, and he may be just jumping over the quarter of that 7.
He's got his jump cue in his
Yep.
hand, doesn't he?
Yeah, actually, he'll jump both over the 7 and the 5. Yeah, that's a good shot off the side here, and it, yeah. Not sure if he called for the safe. I would think he would, but I'm trying to play it behind the 4. Yep. And
Well, he
Mike,
called
Mike
the
is
safe.
Mike is Mike got a little disgusted. Couldn't believe that the 3 ended up going all the way down and now behind the 7. So he's going
This
to have
is
to
a
kick at it.
slow roll kick, though.
Yep.
You kick this slow, and you try to keep the cue ball behind the 7.
Right, and the 3 will come right up the rail on it. So.
Right, it'll just bypass the 7. And keep the cue ball, try to protect the cue ball behind the 7-5. Slow roll, just a nice speed to move the 3, just like that.
Yeah.
Well-
Oh, he didn't want to bump the 7, but he
He's
didn't.
left it.
He ended up leaving it. So, and I have to say that's going to be the first mistake from Mike.
Well, it's early in the match, and Mike is leading by 1 game, so it's still early. But
Yeah.
Mike would like to get to that 13
Yeah.
before Warren. Mike knows, as well as any other player that played in it, that these players can get there. And the last thing he wants to do is give him any air to get back to the table.
Yeah, no. Well, plus a 2-0 lead, better than a 1-1. And
Oh yeah, any
and
lead.
so
yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
he wanted to start putting pressure on Warren right away
Oh,
when
yeah.
you had the chance.
And by doing that from the opening gate is pressure.
Yep. Especially with the alternating break, it's
It's big.
It's
yeah,
big.
You're right. Yeah, he's got the shot into the side pocket.
Yep.
He can force
That's it.
follow this and put a lot of spin on it, or he can drag it back around. As you can see, the
I
8.
think he'll more drag it because he doesn't want to force follow, and he's got to worry about hitting those
There
points
you
a
go.
bit.
The 8 goes in both pockets. So
Yeah. Diamond tables are not that forgiving on those side pocket points. So. And that was the shot before Darren and I were talking about. Where do you prefer to draw it to the rail or go down to the bottom rail and back up again? And Warren likes to go down and up. I notice more so, and other players will do the draw to the side rails.
folks, keep in mind when we head up to Providence, Rhode Island, November 21st and 22nd, that's Mike's home room. Snookers up in Providence, Rhode Island, and we're going to have the Ocean State 9-ball tournament combined with the Josh Northeast 9-ball tour. And keep in mind, the host hotel, if you want the players rate, is the Holiday Inn Express. That's in Warwick, Rhode Island. The Holiday Inn Express in Warwick. Back to the match as Mike Dechaine set the break. Amy,
Yes.
you're okay?
Yeah.
All right. Keep us awake, will you?
I will.
All right. Look at the 2-ball just
Yep.
trickling. Do you jack up and try to hold the cue ball above the 3 there, or you just go forward? And he's going forward a little bit.
You know, he's looking to. He's a little undecided now because
Yeah,
he's trying to
it's a
think.
funny shot.
Do I get enough underneath it to just sort of punch it across to the
Gotta
side
watch
rail
the
there?
side pocket here.
Yep. You know, he wants below, but he's ended up missing it.
It was one of those tweeners.
Yep.
You know.
And with that, he ended up hitting the tweener as
Yeah.
opposed to.
Right.
Yeah, this was a shot that Warren
couldn't hold up the cue to do a one rail cross. He wanted to hit it hard enough, come back for 2, play the 3. He's got to come back up the table again for the 4. And this will come right between. It didn't make it between, and it's a small enough window. You could make that ball between the 6 and the 4, but just ended up missing it a little bit. So
He's going to try to play safe behind the 6.
he went for the shot coming up.
He's got the shot.
Yeah,
he did it.
This will be the same. It's going to come up.
You know, it just goes back to what we were saying before. You want to be the aggressor, and you want to put the beads up on your side of the scoreboard early, right? You want to put the heat on your opponent. And Warren really has to turn the heat up because he's got to get to 13 to have this extended.
He's got to get to 9 to have it extended.
No, 13 and 15. Right? Maybe I stand corrected.
9, 13. That's your. Sorry, Al. You're correct. 13 first, then 15.
I got lucky. Thank goodness.
Sorry.
Then I would have felt bad staring everybody off. I got lucky. Warren Kiamco, 2-1.
Goes up 2-1.
Lori John Hassan. I'm bad with names. I can't pronounce my own name. Don't slap me. Lori John's going to come in the booth with Tony Robles shortly and pay us a little visit. And it's always a pleasure to have Lori on board, the Queen of Pool, legend. And we don't say that because you're here. We say it even when you're not here. Even when you're not here, we say it. All right? I don't know if Amy knows Lori John.
No.
Yeah, you're looking at the lady there that started.
Someone who's played pool for a little while, but from my own point, my personal point, I'm very happy that Lori was one of 2 women playing in this event and making the trip up from her home, which is not a short little trip.
You're looking at
willing to come and play and really put it out there for this event. So Isabel and I both truly appreciated her to make the trip and play her heart out against this very strong field.
You're looking at a young lady here that started playing pool at the age of 4.
Wow.
And has dominated and won everything under the sun, even when Gene Beluga was playing. And that's Lori John right there. And that's Amy Yu right to your right.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And put some scares into some men yesterday, or
Boy, did she
Saturday when
ever.
she was playing. So it was
Doesn't surprise me.
It's definitely worth the play. I definitely enjoy the way Lori plays.
It was worth it. I'm so glad I'm here. Thank you.
So, thank you.
Thank you for having this tournament. I do like the format, by the way. I love the format of, the call shot. And I also like the fact that the finals, he gets for being on the winner's side, it's not like you have to beat him twice, but, it's a nice long race. It's like getting spotted too, I guess, kind of.
Hal is playing with the cameras. There we go. I take up half the
There's
half the
Amy
picture
Yu
frames.
and
So
Laura
there we
John
go.
and the owner, Kevin Buckley, and of course Tony in the back. And Upstate likes to stay behind the camera.
Tournament wasn't that stressful. I had blonde hair when we first started this. The day before, it is gray. Yes, that's. But
I want it. I want hair whiter than yours. I want a full head of white hair.
yeah, come back next year. That you'll see what that's like.
You got to have something to look forward to, right? So
exactly.
that's what I look forward to.
So we have a little safety battle going on here.
Love it.
You know, I have to share a story real quick. So I've been out of the tournament scene for a while, and you
Yes.
know, I try and keep up as much as I can, but I guess I was really out of it with the men players. So when I when I started hearing Mike Dechaine, I'm like, who is this guy? I said, this is ridiculous. I said, they're doing this thing, you know, hustlers. I said, on
Right.
TV. And I said, and I keep hearing Mike Dechaine. I said, like, couldn't they have picked a player? And so
I said the
Johnny
same thing. I think a bunch of us did.
So Johnny Archer, he goes, he is a player.
He is, yeah.
And so I said, like what? And he goes, like, he's been on the Moscone Cup. He goes, he's like serious.
Yeah.
So I shared that story with Mike when
Well,
I was in Texas. I said I had no idea who you were.
I said the same thing about a couple of the cast members, but you know what? God bless them. I really hope that it gets picked up by another channel and they keep going for season 2 and 3. But I would like to see, you know, the Mike Siegels, you know, and I would like to see Earl and a gathering of people like that. Not to call it the Hustlers because that name was really gave Poole a black eye. But something other
I'd
name
like to just put a camera on Earl and Mike Siegel.
and see who
Just
lasts.
the talking pool players.
Right. Well, I would call that just character development. So, do you want to see what a person's really about? That's what some of that would be, as opposed to just playing pool. You could see what some of these players are like.
I can tell you one thing. This is what you don't want to allow Warren to you know, start doing the racks and getting them together and
Especially on your break.
yeah.
Well, you know, Warren's on a clear mission. I know Mike is too, being undefeated through this tournament. And both of these players just want this title. This is the first annual. And it'll be something nice to have under your belt. And I could see a tournament like this having Moscone point rankings to it in the near future. And also the Steinway Classic. I mean, world quality players. As Warren Kiamco expresses
And
it.
great, you know what? For the sponsors and Gotham City Billiards, you know, the money added, fabulous money added.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you would expect that more from maybe a hotel tournament or
Casino.
you know,
or
yeah,
something of that
casino
nature, yeah,
tournament,
yeah.
something of that nature.
Agree.
So thank you, Kevin.
Yes.
Oh, no problem. One thing for the two players here. Both players have played in this room a couple of times. Warren's been here, I'd have to say, 10, 12 times, playing in the room. Mike has been here 3 or 4 times to play in the room. When they had the Hustlers show, they'd come here to do some shooting and stuff. Mike had a challenge match here against George in this room as well. And although Mike doesn't want to admit it, I mean, he played George and lost. So, but he won't tell you that. But it was just more for the TV shoot than it really was anything for seriousness to it. But
And I did notice these tables in the Hustlers. They happened to be in Atlantic City, the crew, and they were playing a challenge match. But if you noticed, every time the ball went into the hole, they were playing on a Brunswick in Atlantic City, and every time the ball fell into the hole where they followed the ball, it went in on a diamond pocket.
yes, no, that's
The editing was okay.
the editing was a little different, but that was okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's no problem for the editing. But the point was that actually both of these people, both Warren and Mike, know the tables here and know the room. So they both have played on that. And I mean, we've even had to go further. Johnny Archer was here last year when he was
Rodney
up.
Morris.
And Rodney Morris has been in our room and stuff for exhibitions. But Johnny was here with John Schmidt, Warren, and then George, and we had them do sort of an impromptu challenge matches for when they had spent time coming up to Steinway for another event. And so, and that's something that we do at times too. If we know players are up in New York and they've made a trip, we'll invite them down to the room if they have the chance and put on an impromptu challenge match. And it's a combination for the pro player himself. If he's got some free time, he can, show off some of his skills in a different room, and the customers here at Gotham get to enjoy a free show for and see different pro players show up to the room and stuff.
Well, Mike's shooting this like he has no time. He went a little too far,
Yeah,
but
a little too far, but
he can get behind
No,
the 8.
no effect on him. Mike plays with ice in his veins. If you see,
I like to see him go
through
3
this.
rails and wind up on the left side of this 8 ball, go underneath the 8 here, coming short on the long side.
Right.
He's
Yeah,
just
no,
going to
he's
baby
gonna
it
he's
out.
gonna short.
Nice shot.
Actually, I watching Mike play this week, I actually like his game. You know, that's how I, not because that's how I play, but
Right.
that's how I would have shot that shot. I would have shot it, especially, because where if you can hold it without, chancing missing that shot.
Without using all the
Yeah.
spin or playing an extra couple of rails. Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
You
no,
don't have to
Take the easy road home, right?
yeah, no. Mike
And
is
that's
not one for
thing I like
moving the
about-
cues.
Yeah, I love his game. It's simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
Similar
No-
to
nothing
Warren.
crazy.
Warren
Yeah,
is
I
another.
was just
Warren
gonna
is
say
very
that.
much the same way. They
Both
play
of them.
very simple. I'd say Warren plays even more of the. I really don't like to move the cue that much.
Alan Hopkins played the
And
same
Alan
way.
used to play that way.
Yeah.
Yes, Alan. Alan was one definitely for that. I
Yeah, Alan Hopkins.
experienced a few times playing Alan when I was younger and watching him
That's who I
maneuver a
learned from.
cue around the table. So it's something I don't really want to see again if I can.
Sometimes people want to see professionals do something phenomenal. They want to see the hard shots and the difficult, ridiculous shots. And I'm like, no, that's why we were able to run racks, solid racks together. Pull them. Well, not in this tournament, with alternate break, but if it's winter break, it's
Yeah.
why I can run 3, 4, 5 racks because my position is simple and my shot is simple. That's what separates the great from the average.
Yeah, you could stay in a full gear too.
Absolutely.
That
And then
format.
if you have to come with a hard shot, it's there for you.
He might be the only person breaking these balls, making that many balls. He just made 3 balls on the break.
He made 3 on the break. Again, he did the same thing. He's made the one on the side again. He's doing the cut break. That time he hit the cut break a lot harder. So that's why the cue was all the way back up the table. Usually he's been doing the cut break a little bit softer. He'd come back out to the middle of the table with the one on the side. And he set himself up that the 2 would come back up the table.
I
But
mean,
hitting it this
overall-
hard, the 2 got kicked and stayed at the bottom rail, and he's actually sitting on on the top. So I can guarantee you, knowing Warren, he's now talking to himself.
I'm only
going,
talking,
why did I do that?
I'm only talking about the stream table, the stream matches that's been going on. He's the only one that's really been breaking the balls and making balls. Not only 1 or 2. Now he just made 3. And keep in mind, we're racking the 9 on the spot and breaking from the box. Try that. It's not the easiest thing to accomplish.
I don't know if I like, on a personal level, I've been watching the cut break, and if you don't have to do that break, I'm liking, what Mike
Smashing
Dechaine
'em.
did before, just hit the ball, the corner ball went in, and he had a shot. It seems like every time, at least while I've been standing here and watching the match before, that the cut break has not been giving him a shot after the break. He makes balls, and then he doesn't have a shot at the 2.
Well,
or
what's
the-
happening is the 1's going in the side pocket, but if that 1 doesn't go in, that cut break's working like perfect. As long as the cue ball's hanging out somewhere in the middle of the table, he'll be okay. Yeah, but to each his own. But Mike coming in and Mike sitting down and watching Warren break, and he's making these balls. Now Mike's a pretty good breaker himself. Don't get me wrong, but you got to watch your opponent, and he knows that as well as anybody. So I'm going to see if he's going to break from the same spot that Warren just did afterwards. But like you said, Laurie, Mike's been making the wing ball.
Yeah, and he's pretty successful, pretty confident. He might be watching Warren, but Warren, trust me, Warren has been watching Mike too.
Nice slow roll. Got to get back to the rail here, sir. The 6 hit the
yeah.
rail. He's
It's
okay.
a great kick.
The 6 was going to hold it too. He's thinking about ducking the cue ball either behind the 9 or bringing it all the way around behind the 8.
Yeah, what he's worried about, though, is that he's not going to push the 6 too far up and leave the window with the 2 sitting there. So there'll be a window between the 4 and the 6. That's why
Trying the 8
he's
ball.
just going to take it
Yeah,
to the
ball.
other
Yep.
rail. And
Looks like Mike is standing right in the view of our other camera view.
yeah. Yeah, see, I can tell from this if he can hit
Hold
the
it.
side rail and come up to hit the 2.
The 2 is off
Yeah.
the rail.
But
Looks like you can see it.
he'll see enough of it to.
Get him behind.
Oh, no.
Oh no, he couldn't, and
Oh,
and
this
he
could,
couldn't
this
go
could
from
come
the
back
other
to
one.
haunt him. You know that 3-ball trap safe? Oh, if that would have wound up like that, it would have come back to haunt him.
Yep.
Did you like that or not?
Well, I thought he can see a part of it, you know. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, he's going to be looking at another safe here, but he's not giving Mike the opportunity to, run out. So
Yeah,
I
no.
kind of like it.
Thing here will be is, he's going to play the safe on the 2. He's going to want to use. It's a question of
Oh, no.
does he want to tie
He's
him
This
up
is
or
the trap. This is the trap that I just
Yep.
mentioned.
Yeah.
The 3-ball trap, not leaving him air to get to the 2-ball. And I think he's got it. And the 2 might even be frozen.
Yeah, it
the
is.
Two, the
It's
2 is frozen,
frozen.
as he told you, and
So now he's got to move the balls. Something else has to hit that rail.
Well, he can get the 9 as long as he can get the 2. He can push the 9
they
or the
got- they're-
4 to the
they're
rail.
calling over the referee Tony to look at the shot, or Finnegan, one of the 2 tournament directors, to look at the shot to see how this will.
Now, we got involved one time, and that was only because the tournament director came to the booth and asked us to see the recording, and we played it back in slow motion. And only once since we've been doing this have we used that. But I think it's pretty good that we can.
From our angle, it's difficult to tell if there's no space at all between the.
Well,
Is that
This
the
speech should have been made about you.
8 and 9?
there's obviously room if Warren's going to line the cue ball up like that. I would say that there's room. What Mike's more concerned about is something getting to the rail.
Well, there's a ball on the rail.
Wait a minute, you might be right. There might
Yeah,
not be
that-
any room.
See, there may be that there's no room. That's why Mike is asking for tournament director to watch the
I
hit.
could zoom in on this on one of our cameras real close, but with the referee or the tournament director standing around,
If
we
you
still-
if you listen to the if we listen to the mic, they're talking to each other about.
Yeah.
So what they're looking for is he's going to hit the 2 and then have another ball go to the rail.
But he's going to hit the 2 first and then go into the 9.
Into the
Right.
9, and the 9 has
At
to
the
hit
9
the
hits the
rail.
rail.
Or
I
Yep.
want Tony too.
And he wants 2 people to watch the hit.
He's in the restroom.
Well, under these conditions, what Tony Robles does, Tony has an app on his phone, and Tony will record this hit on his phone, and then
Very
he
good.
will go to the side with both players and let them see it. If there's any discrepancy, one says that it's no good or not. So it's a good idea, and he zooms in real close, and it's all in HD.
This is a really important shot. I
Yes,
mean,
yeah,
this
no.
is-
This
this
is a
is
3-2 match. Warren
Yeah,
leading. I mean, this is a
exactly.
big deal. If Warren fouls and can't get to it, we know that Mike will try to look to lock them back up again,
Right.
and then that'll be it.
Foul. Foul. I'm calling the shot right now.
Mike is giving his opinion on what he thinks the shot will be automatically, which is a foul.
Mike thinks this is
It's-
the
it's-
reality show.
See, the thing with Mike is Mike will never give his opinion. In case
He's
you didn't
shy.
realize that,
He-
he's very
Mike
shy.
is very
He's a
shy.
very shy individual.
Sure, it's very soft-spoken.
As you can tell, if you see Mike is in the camera, he's very shy, doesn't really have much of an opinion. I believe Mr. Finnegan is going to go back out with the camera for the app.
Yeah.
to watch this, put the camera up on it, and go through it. But obviously, we've come to the point where they all have an opinion about this, and this has become more of an entertainment value. We give a top hat and a king to Mike. He may dance for us at the same time while he's going to take the shot.
I wouldn't let anybody.
We have Tony, who's been a professional camera person during the event here, taking pictures, willing to come up with
but
his
I wouldn't
camera
let anybody
to do
stand
this.
around like this. This is
But
definitely
no, at
uncalled
this
for.
point, we've had other people sort of get in. It's sort of here's the family atmosphere of our room.
This
Yep.
is too much heat for Warren to be shooting under.
Yeah, no, well, they've decided they can't find Tony. They've used our house pro George to look at that. It's a good hit. He hit the 2, 9 hit the rail, and so with that now we're back to Mike is still on 1. If everybody could remember, since it's been a while, because he pushed the 9 up against the 2. Call Finnegan again.
Call
Yeah.
Finnegan,
So this
yeah.
is the same thing because the 2 is
Slow
still
roll.
frozen.
Slow roll.
Oh, I guess
No,
it
it
was
wasn't
not
frozen.
Okay. Oh. Yes, become
Mike, you got to move out of the way.
a community tournament.
Sir. He's supposed to go back to his chair.
Yep.
He really shouldn't be on top of his opponent watching the hit.
Now, at this point, we are
Wow.
tying everybody up. So they believe now that 2 is frozen.
And the same for Warren. He should be in his chair, let tournament directors or referees call it.
Yep, Finnegan is coming back again.
You see, there's somebody else out there. They shouldn't be there.
No, it's
Should
only
only-
Finnegan that's out there right now. So
No, okay.
that's what I say.
6 went to
Grab
the
the
rail.
headset
Wow.
to
Great
sit in.
shot.
So what's that? We had an extra one before. Mr. Hansen decided to take a seat. So it's okay.
Hassan. Well, get on the mic, Dave, and give us the correct pronunciation. Laurie John, fix us up.
Hassan.
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 Okay.
It's
Hassan.
fairly simple.
Kevin, I steered you wrong. I apologize. Okay, come on in, George.
It's good safety.
You're number 2 there, sir. It's already hot. You're already hot.
It's already hot.
Yeah, you're in. Hey, George. George
Hey,
Rodriguez
what's up,
on board.
guys?
I didn't like you on top of that shot. I'd rather you be in the seat and let the tournament directors and the referee handle it. Did they ask
Tony
you to watch
wasn't
it?
here. No.
Oh.
Mike didn't want
There was a lot of
Finnegan
people on
to
top
watch.
of that shot. That put Kiamco under the gun,
I
man.
know. Mike was trying to pass me 100.
I heard something about a bet on the side already. We get all the audio here. You know Laurie John, right? George
no, actually, I never
Rodriguez.
met her.
Never
Nice to
yet.
meet you.
Nice
The
to
house
meet you.
pro here at Gotham City Billiard Club, and you know her husband, David Hassan.
Nice to meet you. All right.
We're still at 3-2. This is really like we all agreed on a very, very important rack. Not that they're not all important. Now,
No, that was kind of
open
a
it up.
funny shot. I don't know
Yeah.
what he's trying to do there.
Well, the 4 is still in a crazy area. Warren has got no pocket
Yeah, he
for the
ain't
2.
got much.
What's the deal? You roll up
Maybe
behind the 8?
maybe I'll thin the 2 to hit the 9. Come two rails. Try to put the cue ball behind the.
The 6?
What ball is that over the 6?
That's the green one. Are you colorblind?
You can't really.
I was
yeah,
gonna say.
probably.
I was gonna say we got
think
the
I
right
am.
commentator in the booth.
Yeah, actually, I like that. If he's gonna play safety, I like hitting
Yeah.
the 2
Thin the 2 towards the 9 and
If-
come 2 rails right behind.
because I don't think
Behind the
he can make
6.
it. No. Yeah.
Okay,
Well, he didn't.
he missed the 9. Oh, yeah.
He actually, yeah, he hit that actually to not thin enough, I don't think.
Oh, he left him jacked up. Kind of funny now.
It's one thing that's really important with safeties is to make sure that you
Yeah,
hook the person.
yeah, you got to make sure you hook him.
Yep.
It happened to me in my last match. I had a pretty easy safe, and I I hit it too hard, left them open, and it cost me. Look
Wow.
at this
What
shot.
a
Nice
great
shot.
shot.
Nice
Wow.
What a
Beautiful
great
shot.
shot.
What place did you come in, George? In
Fifth, sixth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm happy. I played pretty good. I'm happy. Tough
Good.
field, so
Good. Good showing.
thank you.
You guys don't know George Rodriguez, huh?
That
There
was
he
a
is
great
right there.
shot.
That's George Rodriguez. And there's Dave Hassan sitting on the end that doesn't like to be on camera.
Dave said on that shot, he said, "Wow."
Yeah, that was a wow shot.
That's
That was
an
Look, he's
excellent
gonna
shot.
tie. He's gonna tie the 8-9 up. He's gonna tie
And
the
that's
8
smart, you know. If you-
up. Yeah. Fairly good shot. Right
Yeah,
there.
now he has to work for it, you know.
Well, unfortunately for Warren, ball in hand on a 2, Mike just has to roll down there and bump the 9, slide the cue. Oh, instead of that, he's going to play another save. Look at this.
Yeah.
Why not just break the
Put him behind
8
the
out
6.
here? With
No,
ball
he
in
could put him
hand.
behind. He could play a two-way, put him behind the 6, and break that up at the same time.
Good shot.
Yeah, which is a good shot.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm sure he was trying to break that up.
Yeah.
Finny. Finny. Watch the hit. Watch Tony. Fade it too. Straight into.
I hope you guys out there heard the audio from there. Warren's playing the 2 ball into the
Playing
bottom
two
left.
ball corner pocket. Wow.
Just missed it.
And the worst thing can happen is he broke the 8-9 apart.
Oh, there goes Tony. He's back. Well, everything's open here. Should be out from there.
Yeah, it was the worst thing Warren did was break that 8-9 apart. He just did what Mike attempted to do.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe I would have tried to slow roll that kick, you know?
It was a hard kick
If you
anyway.
miss it, you don't break anything up, and if you hit it, you might leave him a tough shot or safe or something.
Well, sometimes you just see something and go for the shot.
Right,
you know.
right.
Yeah, but there was like very minimal 2 ball hanging
Yeah.
up on the top of that,
There's a
Unless
lot-
he was planned on coming
Absolutely
off the
had, you had to
rail.
hit it perfectly.
He might have been thinking of coming
two,
off the rail.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3 rails, hit the 2, and then
Right,
it
and-
caroms off the.
Right.
There's a lot of times too.
That's a lot to
you're
ask
kicking
for.
and you don't call it, and you make it by mistake, right? It's like it happens so many times. When
It
you're
would be
playing
a-
call shot, call safe.
It would be a spotlight shot, though. Mike Dechaine trying to answer back here and tied us up at 3 apiece.
Now it's Mike's break, or
I
think
don't
he
know
was
who broke
breaking on
first, but
even.
well, from now on, we'll figure out who it is. We'll play odds
I
and
think he's
evens.
taking a break.
Taking a break.
This is gonna be a
Yep.
close match all the way.
Too early to take a break. All right, since he's doing that, we're going to run a quick ad for Lucasi, real quick. Commercial time. Stand by.
Introducing Lucasi Hybrid, a whole new level of performance and technology. A cue with the revolutionary X-Shocks dampening system, eliminating vibration. G5 grip technology for enhanced traction and stability results in maximum cue control. Total sweet spot construction means unmatched power. And the zero flex point ferrule provides dead-on accuracy, giving you the confidence you need in every shot. Lucasi Hybrid, the only cue that matters.
And we are back. And they're still missing. So let us run through real quick because I didn't get a chance to actually get Steinway out there and the Steinway Classic. We know the U.S. Open's coming up October 24th through the 30th, but this right here, where 128 champions are coming up from the South, to play in the Steinway Classic, November 1st through the 3rd. It's the 4th annual Steinway Classic. First place prize is $10,000. There's 105 people signed up and confirmed already in this tournament. If you want to get in it, SteinwayBilliards.com. If you want to purchase the pay-per-view, it's SteinwayBilliards.com. We thank you for your support on behalf of Steinway Billiards. And it looks like Mike Dechaine is coming back, so we're going to get right back to the action table here.
Man, I can't wait, man. US Open's coming up.
You ready? All right. Oh, I'm sorry, George. I had you on mute. Go ahead, say what you just said. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. You can't wait for the Steinway Classic?
Yeah, I can't wait, man. US Open, too, coming up.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Thanks, George, for
No
sitting
problem.
in. Appreciate
I'll see
it.
you guys.
Tony's coming in. All right, so George Rodriguez, we had the opportunity to hear from George. And Mr. Tony Robles, a silent assassin, will be in shortly. We're going to hook him up like the $16 million man that he is.
Yep.
Going to wire him up. And I'll update the score as soon as I get back. But right now it's 3-3, and I'll step out and be right back. In fact, I'll leave it up. Welcome aboard, Tony.
Thank you for having me, Al.
Oh, you kidding me? Honored.
So it's 3-3 here, huh?
Yes.
So for someone who didn't know Mike Dechaine, what do you think of his game so far, Laurie John?
I complimented his game. I don't want him to hear this maybe later, or like have someone say, "Oh man, Laurie John really liked your game," but I really do.
Yeah, he's one hell of a
He's
player.
really simple. You know, he comes with a shot when he has to, obviously, but he's a simple position. You know, the cue ball goes where he wants to. It's simple. It's simple runouts, and I love someone who does that. And he'll be around a long time because of that.
Oh yeah, he's very hungry.
Yeah.
But he's like very precise too. He's like, I mean that safety shot last rack where he kicked behind the 2-1 at the cue behind the 4.
Ridiculous shot.
That was a hell of a shot.
Doing commentary for a while, I don't know if I would have gone, if my brain would have gone there.
Well, I know the
That's
shot.
why I
I
love
just can't
playing.
execute it the way he does.
But that's why I love playing with
Yeah.
the men and playing, watching the men play, because that's something that I wouldn't have seen that shot,
Right.
especially in that, because there was another way to hit it.
And his cue ball control is pretty strong.
Unbelievable.
So is Warren. Warren is a beast.
He is. They have similar games.
Yeah.
Just shoot over a little bit. Shoot over the.
Yeah, he
a little bit,
practices
yeah.
his shot a lot. He hits the center of the pocket every time in those shots where he's elevated over the ball. It's like a joke for him. He shot a shot in an earlier match against Jason Klatt for the hot seat where he had to elevate over a ball like that, but it was a very long shot. He pounded it in 100 miles an hour. The cue ball jumped over and just stopped, and then he won the perfect position the next shot. Came a little short there, but he should be fine. And he's determined to win this tournament.
He is. He is. I think he's like mentally setting up for the U.S. Open, mentally.
Yep. I'm pretty sure he's going to do well. Warren Kiamco always does well in the U.S. Open, and Mike's never won it. Warren Kiamco has come close to winning it before in the past. Came short a couple of times, but I think Mike's definitely going to do a lot better this year considering how he's playing. He's playing the best I've ever seen him play since I met him.
Now, how long has Mike been playing?
Well, I remember playing him for the first time in Valley Forge. My Lord, that had to be at least 8 or 9 years ago.
You know.
See, and that's when that's why I didn't know him, because that's about the time, probably about 9 years ago, that I stopped playing, and especially in the beginning, I didn't want anything to do with it. You know, I just kind of dropped out, and that was it. Concentrated on my kids, and
That's awesome.
you know, yeah. So that makes sense on why I wouldn't have heard that name.
Boy, when he doesn't make that corner ball, he makes that one ball on the side.
That's what he's been doing, making the one in the side, and then he doesn't get a great shot. He either is hooked
Yeah.
on the 2 ball or is not getting a great shot on it.
He's a very tough guy to beat, and he plays billiards like a lot of the other Filipinos too. They were playing an interesting game in the back. Even though Roberto Gomez who's regarded as one of the greatest Filipino players, as well as Dennis Ocoyo.
Correct.
They're really, really super close friends, but they still gamble with each other. But only a couple of bucks here and there. So they were playing 2 and 3 rail banks in the back, and
I watched that.
Yeah. And
Actually, they were doing that. I think I was playing a match or getting ready for a match, and I was watching. I'm like, what are they doing? Because and then I figured out it was definitely two. I was watching 2 rail banks.
if they banked the ball 2 rails, it was $2 for the shot. If it was 3 rails, then it was $6 for the shot. Yeah. So they tripled it for a 3 rail bank. It was pretty cool.
Kevin Buckley back in the house.
And the mighty Al, Upstate Al, is back in the
Follow
booth.
this and cut the 3 ball in.
See, I remember, I don't know if you agree with me, but I remember the days where I used to see this 3 ball and it was a hanger. Now I see this ball, it feels like the hardest shot on the planet for me. Even when it's in front of the pocket, sometimes it feels hard,
Yep. Sometimes that 9-foot table looks like a 6 by 12.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good shot, though,
Well, you hit it great.
because the 4 and the 5 being up on the other end of the table, he didn't have to do much except for concentrate on making it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I don't know if he
Little
got the angle he
straight,
wanted
no,
in that one.
Definitely not.
Might have to
Well,
go 3 rails and play the 6 in the lower left hand, right?
Well, he's going to play he's going to play the 6 on the lower right hand. He's had a tendency lately of coming up between the 8 and 6 and playing the shots that way.
You don't have to like it though.
Right.
No, I was going to say.
But it's been the way he's been playing for today through his matches. He seems to be a little more comfortable that way.
He does
but
have that nice touch where he can just drag the ball,
Yeah.
even from a long distance. So
He is pretty strict on this, though.
Don't be surprised if he plays it in the lower left hand.
I wouldn't be
But
surprised.
it all depends on the angle.
No, he's not now.
No, he's-
Oh, he's
because
doing something
just gonna
completely
pop
different.
Right off.
He's going to go in between the 8 and the 9.
he's got to be careful that this 5 ball doesn't.
So he's
spin
going to try to
itself
go
out.
behind the 8 and the 9.
Come into that little window. That's a tough.
Now go 3
Yep.
around the world. I don't know. All I know is this. Upstate Al is a very sad man.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
He's always sad when the tournament's coming to an end.
You're absolutely right. But there's a
Inside
lot of major
English on
events
the-
coming up.
Yeah, he had inside English. I didn't. He's Sue. Okay.
Yeah,
Good shot.
No, he's no joke with those guys.
Again,
That's that touch I'm talking about.
but not even that. Remember, Laura, we talked about before, minimal move into the queue.
Yeah.
So instead of going around the table, he'll stay down at this end.
Look how good he hit that shot.
They really are similar players in the sense of, not moving the cue
Yeah,
ball
not
very
moving the
much.
cue ball very much.
And I have to agree with that. But then you do have your players that like to spin the rock all around the world also. But I think the minimal movement that you have to move is the best way to go. But the people that like to spin the rock wouldn't agree with me.
Well, I mean, when I had the pleasure of meeting Mosconi in an exhibition match in a pool in Jersey many years ago, Elizabeth, I forget the name of it.
Not West
I
End.
asked
yeah.
him
West
what was
End?
the secret. Not West End,
High
the other
Q?
place. Yeah,
High
High
Q?
Q. That
Ah,
was it. Yep,
see?
that was it. Blast from the past, right?
Yep.
That was a nice place, actually.
It
West
sure
End was
was.
the place to be, though. Remember?
Oh, West
that
End
place,
was
wow.
that's how I grew as a player. You know, you had Mizrak, Hopkins,
Everybody.
everyone. I mean, Jack Colavita, Mike Siegel used to go. Even from used to go play in the weekly
Everybody.
How about
tournaments.
say you used to see Arvelino there at times?
Yeah.
Sure. Tascarella was real young
Now,
back
see how
then.
he broke? I like that. He didn't do the side. You know, it's
No,
not-
no, he does a corner break.
Yep.
So his full power through, he makes the corner ball.
I love it. Love,
The two
love,
does
love
go.
his break. Yeah. One ball. He's
Well, I don't know if you notice what he's doing. What he's doing is if he's breaking from the left side of the table, he's not hitting the one dead square. He's hitting it ever so slightly to the right, and that's forcing the corner ball to go straight in.
Yeah.
He was practicing it before the match, so he's trying not to touch a cue or the rail with the cue ball. It's just coming up with the one ball.
That's how important the break is today.
Especially with that 9 ball being racked on the spot.
Yeah. And so many people, so many people can run out a rack of 9 ball, you know, and you just, it comes down to the break sometimes too. Especially this level of play, my goodness.
See, I like leaving the cue ball by the rail, by the side pocket, and just going 3 rails coming here. I just feel more comfortable with that shot, you know?
No.
Coming in on the left
Yeah,
side.
that's
of
what
the
that's what he didn't want to do that.
I like that shot. Because all I got to do is just go slightly past the side pocket, come off there, and I'm going right towards the 8, you know?
Yep.
Only reason I like that shot is because I feel it's a higher percentage shot position-wise, because if you try to get perfect on the 6 to draw 1 rail, if you get too straight on the 6, you're screwed, you know? If you go on the other side, you might be screwed. But then again, you have those players that feel 100%
some of the
comfortable.
best, you know, position players play it exactly the way Mike Dechaine just
Yeah.
played. You know, the 2 rails or 3 rails actually, and you want to come towards the ball.
Right,
Someone
you-
taught me that a long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, a few men have taught me that in the years of my playing. Was I used to be a draw player. I used to love drawing towards the ball.
Right.
And they're like, you know, but drawing towards the ball, you have so much room for error.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be perfect every time. And whereas if you're coming towards the ball, you know, and it really, it started making sense to me, because when your nerves kick in, if you're out there and you're suddenly nervous, you know, that draw, you know, if you just kind of choke it,
Yeah, that's right.
it doesn't draw at all.
I know. I've been there enough times. We've been there enough times.
You know, whereas if you can let out your stroke a little bit and, you know, come around the table, you're coming towards the ball, towards your position.
Yeah, you're coming on that line,
Yep.
the line of the shot,
Oh,
of the next shot
absolutely.
to come through it, as opposed to you're going to be trying to pass into the line or into the space
Exactly.
the opposite way with the draw.
So let's see if he does. Oh, no, it's not him. It's Warren breaking.
It's
Warren
Warren
likes
breaking.
that cut
Yeah,
break.
so Warren's going to do the cut break. The 1 goes to the left side, left-hand side side pocket.
Let's see how close a 3 comes to that corner pocket.
It
It's been
doesn't.
coming very close. Last rack, he almost made it, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, it got kicked in
See?
by the 6.
Yeah.
One in
That's
his
one.
And the
three
one
win.
on
And the
the
one
side.
on the side.
When the cube almost went on
Ooh.
the side.
Yeah, he's been making multiple balls on the break
Mm-hmm.
for the kick in. But
Probably
then,
going to call the
They-
6 here.
not sure he can see the. You want somebody to watch it.
So he's probably playing the
He's
6
going to
then.
ask me
Yep.
because Finnegan,
Yes, he's going to ask you.
they need a call hit.
Mike is
My
very
goodness.
particular about his tournament directors calling the
Wow.
review.
He just said, really, he goes, he's terrible, man.
I just
I
think
don't
that
think there's really much to look at here. The
We-
2
we've,
seems like it's up far enough.
yeah, no, it's not that I think this shouldn't really need a watch of the hit. It's,
Better safe than
Are you
sorry,
saying it
though,
might
you
be a
know?
yeah.
move?
No, it's true. But I think you could see it
Yeah.
without that much of an issue. It really
it
wasn't that,
perfect.
that close. And he hit it well, although he doesn't like the end result. But
No,
he
I
did
think
hit
it's
it
better
well.
better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, no,
God-
definitely
God
from
forbid,
that,
yeah.
from Mike's standpoint, you definitely would
Right.
prefer to have somebody watch the hit.
Not a
but,
move.
This way, there's no discrepancy
Yeah.
through, for friends shooting at the table, right? Let's have a neutral party watch, and that's the way it should be.
and then
That was a good call there, Tony.
and then with that, actually, Mike
That was
wanting
tough.
Mike wanting to make sure he doesn't show favoritism since him and Finnegan were
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
TV show together. Doesn't want to say Finnegan knows me and he preferred the.
Yeah, but Mike
Non-
knows.
Obviously,
Mike knows that
obviously.
they are both non-biased.
No, Mike,
Obviously,
he
he
does.
said
He
that
does. He's messing with
Finnegan was
Finnegan. I just told
terrible.
Finnegan that he's messing with. They're always joking around with each other.
Yeah.
He really does this on purpose to mess with. Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. So funny at times, but not funny.
Finnegan doesn't think it's funny. Look at him.
I know. I agree. It's like I said, funny at times, but not funny. And Finnegan knows I'm on the same side as him with that.
So, this is the touch you're talking about.
Yes.
Right here is going to be.
So this is where he will go down as opposed to drawing.
Yeah, and I like
That's his
going.
preference.
And I like going 2 rails though on that shot.
you like
but,
to do
but
2
ending up with
rails.
more of an angle on 7. I mean,
Well, yeah, no,
because
and
that way
that's
you come
what-
off that second rail, you're
Yeah.
going right towards that 8.
Yeah, but I find that
I
Warren
think it was
likes
a little
to
straight.
Warren likes to do more straight shots and go forward and do the spin to bring himself back
Yeah.
out again.
But at least we're getting the final that we were hoping for.
Oh yes, definitely. I was sitting here looking for a back and forth match.
Tied it up. 5-5.
Mike's probably thinking to himself, I better make sure I make that corner ball.
Well, that's the point you're at now, which is you have to make the ball on the break or
Yeah.
hope you don't leave a shot because
Right.
both are getting out
Mm-hmm.
when they're at the table.
You know, the tightest pocket table I ever saw in my life was at Castle Billiards many years ago, where you could barely fit a little over one
Table
full
10.
ball. Remember that?
Yeah.
You could barely fit over one full ball. I got ball in hand one time, and my opponent let me shoot the 9 ball.
Yeah.
And I
bad.
almost missed it. No, I almost missed it. I was scared to death of those pockets.
Efren Reyes ran a rack of rotation right-handed and then a rack
left-handed.
left-handed.
That's what I was
on
going to
that-
say.
on that table.
He went and broke and took ball in hand and ran a rack of rotation 1 through 15 and
Sure
then
did.
broke and did it again left-handed. And if someone would have told me that story, knowing that I played on that table, I would have said, no, there's no,
No way. Yeah.
I had to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he has
again-
this break is
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable.
Right. So
that
now
he
he's
has
got the
right
breakdown where he's making his corner ball and he's leaving him. He's got the shot on the
now.
one.
It's like a medium speed, nice stroke through.
I've never hit a rack like that. Okay.
That's a classic mess with your opponent's brain line.
Yes. You would think that Earl was here.
Yeah.
Mike doesn't do that, does he? No.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow. He jumped up on that one.
Yep.
Did you
He
see that?
sure did.
'Cause
Boy, he
tell you
jumped
what.
straight up in the air. That was very uncharacteristic-like.
Look at it.
Finnegan came running in the back room like, I didn't do it.
What happened, Finnegan? Finnegan came running here after Mike missed that shot saying, I don't want him blaming me like Earl would.
Right.
Oh, God.
Earl is the best. The best. Super genius. I remember Earl one time, we were up at the Turning Stone, and he was pointing up in the fans. And he's going, that camera shocked me. You shouldn't be doing that. And that whole part of the audience, there was nobody there. There was nobody sitting there. I was like, what is he looking at? Earl's beautiful. He's beautiful.
No, one of the greatest things I've ever seen him do, it was in the U.S. Open where he cut this ball backwards, almost 90-degree cut. It's like a one ball here and a cue ball there. You probably bank it in the side. He sliced it there in a corner, 100 miles an hour. The cue ball goes back and forth, back and forth.
He's fearless.
And it was an amazing shot. I wouldn't go for that shot. And he notices not one person clapped for it. So he
That's it.
takes his cue, he puts it down on the table, and he starts clapping for himself.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
And then
he
picks it
says-
back up again.
No, and then the best part, he says, "What you guys do? Pay a nickel to get in this joint?" Just like.
Sorry.
That's
Bob.
Earl. I did an interview with him under the Turning Stone another time, and he says, "Hey, Al," he says, "you know what's wrong with this game?" I said, "What's that, Earl?" And we were sitting up in the bleachers, and he says, "See all those people down there?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I hear them breathing." And he looked me dead in the eyes when he said it. I backed up about 3 feet. And when Warren Kiamco backed up 3 feet and pocketed that 9 ball and goes ahead now, 6-5. Yeah, Earl's the best. We had him in the booth a bunch of times, and he said, "Al," he says, "you want to be a commentator?" He says, "Tell everybody every possible way that this ball can be pocketed before the player shoots it." He says, "You'll never be wrong." Well, thank you. Pretty obvious. But he's a great commentator. The people love him. And the reason we had him in the booth is because a lot of people, they criticize Earl because of, he blows up occasionally. And he's really a nice guy, and I wanted to show people.
Once a tournament minimum.
Yeah. But I
Guaranteed.
wanted to show the general public that, he's a really nice
he's a
human
great
being.
guy.
He's a great guy. And after the first time, I got a few emails, and they said, I really never knew Earl was that type of person. Where what happened was Earl said, "I'm willing to pass my knowledge to anybody for no price." If somebody has a question about a shot, he'll spend some time with them, which is pretty nice. 5-time world champion, 5-time U.S. Open champion. And they just look at him like, he's just a character. But he's got plenty of
But he's funny,
achievements
too.
under
He's
his
funny.
belt. And, yeah, he is funny. And he knows it. He
He
knows
makes
it.
me laugh
He
all
sure
the time.
does.
Really does.
And, in every sport, you have to have a character.
Yeah.
Like Earl Strickland. I
Yeah.
mean, you have your McEnroe in tennis. Or
Right.
your,
Right. Well, he is the McEnroe pool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got that right.
And you need that, and he's not, he didn't, I don't know. He was just such a great, he's such a great player even today.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was such a great player. I mean, who was better than Earl back in his prime? I mean, there was just, and then when Efren came along, my favorite was to watch them two in the finals. It was like, wow.
I think it was out in Vegas, if I'm
incredible.
not mistaken, when Earl hit, when Efren hit him with the Z shot.
Yes.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and Earl
It was
just
at Reno.
Yes.
That was in Reno.
in Reno,
That was
right?
in Reno,
He
yeah.
bowed
Yeah.
to him.
And he
I
bounced
still
a little
consider
bit.
that the greatest shot ever
Sure
made.
was the
Yeah.
greatest
Yeah.
shot.
It came at the right time.
There's the cut now.
Oh.
He
He
drew
did
that a lot more
exactly,
on
yeah.
that cut. He hit the ball a little bit thicker than he did
I
before. He
think
was
he
cutting it
tried
and
to
come to the
do
side.
a little bit
He's
of
doing a
Dechaine,
mixture.
the,
Right.
Mike Dechaine break right there.
But hitting it harder. But again, he's racking. So this time he put the 2 on the bottom.
Well, you have to. That's what I
You
was
have to
about
do
to
that
say.
to get it to
if
get
you
it to
put
come
it as
back
one
up
of
the
the bottom
table.
2 balls, they're
Right.
going to stay in the bottom
They're gonna
rail
stay
by
on
where
the
the 3
bottom
and the
rails.
4 are at. You have to put it as a bottom ball, or you can
Right.
put it as the other ball in
As
the
the other
opposite
ball in the
corner
opposite
that'll go
corner.
3 rails.
That'll come around,
Yep.
right?
Because years ago, I practiced 100 breaks in a row at a pool called Soho Billiards in Manhattan.
Great room, no
And-
longer around.
Yeah, yeah. And, wow. Not sure if he got away with that.
Yeah.
And go ahead, the 100.
100 racks in a row, and I jotted down where most of the balls stopped.
Really?
And I remember that's how I learned how to rack the balls in the particular order.
Wow.
So that way, when I break, I end up with a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top, the 6, 7, 8, and 9 on the bottom. If I make the corner ball,
Right.
and a lot of players do that. So if you know how the ball is spread, and you're doing the cut break like that, and you see that you're consistently making the
Great
one,
shot.
then yeah, that was a great shot. But he has such a great touch. Warren has such an incredible touch.
You saw that incredible spin.
He's
that he
probably
put
going to do it
in
again.
inside
He's gonna,
English
yeah,
on
he's
it.
going to do it again and,
Yep.
and come up off the one rail and
He's thinking, should
side
I
rail
go
and
2
come back
rails with
right,
left or 2
do I
rails
go
with right?
to the right?
Or actually 3 rails, maybe 4 rails with left.
Yeah, no,
All
he
right,
won't.
folks.
He won't travel it that
We're going to have
much.
to stop the show. We're going to continue tomorrow. Psych your mind. We're
Yeah.
here. We got to have some fun.
I don't think he's going to do anything crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Gonna
wow, I'm
nudge it,
surprised he
that's
didn't
did that.
expect that. Yeah.
Wow.
How do
He
you
got
like
away
those
with
apples?
that, maybe.
Well,
Like-
I mean, now that he pocketed the 6, he has to play position on the 7 now. The 6 is no longer in
Right.
front of the pocket. So he has to make a little, create a little Filipino magic here.
He's gonna run into
Filipino
it.
magic. How
He's gonna
old
run
is
into
that?
the back of the
Right,
7.
yeah.
He's gonna play for the same pocket.
Yep.
Oh no, look
no,
at that.
he's gonna come out hit the
Wow,
back
how
of the
good
7.
he hit that.
Manufactured the 7 ball.
So,
Not
yeah.
bad.
No, And here it's just gonna.
How old is Efren now?
Back cut
60
it.
years old?
I think Efren's a little older than that.
61. And talking about Filipino magic, for some reason or another, in every tournament that he plays, and he comes up with shots to this day that people are amazed at.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I love watching him.
Mike's kicking himself for jumping up on that shot.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah.
I can tell you.
That's right. He said,
That was-
man,
yep.
I'm breaking well.
Now he just needs to, yeah,
call
he
that
needs to
too.
just focus. And I wonder if he's kicking himself for making that little comment.
Who knows, right?
He was having fun
He
doing
was having a
it.
little bit of fun.
Sure was.
Well, he's going to have to make something happen soon.
Yeah, he
Because
will.
Warren is not one to make many mistakes. Which is the reason why he's in the final.
Right.
See, one thing I learned about playing on the Pro Tour for years is that once you get to, like, I finished 9th through 12th so many times in my career before I finally won a big tournament. And I won the BCA Open 9-ball.
Right.
I loved that tournament in 2004, and I
Yeah.
finished second in 2002. I lost to Charlie Williams in the final. And one thing I learned about playing in those major tournaments is the deeper you get or the further you get into the tournament, the less mistakes you have to make if you
Right.
want to win. Because when it comes to the elite players, they don't make as many.
Yep. No, it's actually it's an
Dry
AccuSet.
break.
It's an AccuSet DVD we have here that I'll put up on the board. Is that match that you played in the 2004 BCA that you had won?
Yeah.
Because that was one where if you go back to that, you should watch that match again. You'll
Yeah.
see you made no mistakes to get through that.
Yeah.
I think you missed one ball, but because of that, you didn't leave a shot on it.
Yeah.
And there was very little position play, but you had to play spectacular in that match.
You think Mike hit that? I think Mike hit
Mike-
that.
Mike overhit that.
break. Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
you hit that break different.
Yeah, he
Than the
overhit it.
other,
He hit
yeah.
it much harder than he was hitting the other ones.
Yep.
Wasn't as, remember before he was hitting hard but
Yeah.
controlled. That one was a slam.
He's going to drop the 6. Oh, no, not even. He
Look at this.
Ooh, look
He's
at that.
hooked. Maybe. No.
Ooh, Did he?
I
leak?
think
I think he may have leaked out.
Yep.
Yep.
Too close for comfort there for me.
It's a little close to his work.
Okay, here it's going from the 3 to the 4.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably going to want to end up on the other side of the 3 if he can get there. But, he does have room if he only has a stop shot to draw at one rail and come across. So it all depends on the angle he has on the 2. There you go, yeah.
that's
On the
nice.
other side of the 3 ball, yeah.
Ron Mason from Gotham City Technologies just sent in a text. He says, Mike breaks on even numbers. Thanks, Ron. One of the sponsors on board. Larry Ross. I want to wish you well. Larry Ross sending in a text to the booth. Sorry, I just picked up my phone. Larry says he loves everybody, and he's on the road to recovery.
Oh, good for
Very
him.
good.
Glad to hear that, Larry.
Yeah,
Yes.
glad
Hope you
to hear
feel-
that.
Yeah, we hope to see Larry soon.
Yep, little
Yeah.
friendly
Little friendly,
bumperoni.
yep. And it's enough for him to, a little bit of an angle to come up between the 9 and the 8 to get to the 5.
Yeah,
Watch out. This is how he likes. This is the shots he likes to play.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes he'll
I
come
like
out
he's
2
drawn-
rails.
like
You
drawing-
like
Looks
to,
like
to draw
well,
out 2
I was gonna
rails?
say it looked like he was drawing that one.
And then
Let's see.
sometimes he will just punch it up a little bit, and then he doesn't really hit that
He's
hard.
not drawing this one.
See?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
He almost jawed it there. But that's a little shot he learned from his backer, Mr. Alex Barukovic, who's standing right next to me, right?
He's got the whip out, whipping his horse. I'll
He's
tell you
actually
what.
staying in the room, in the booth, which is away from the room, so that he doesn't doesn't affect his own player.
Warren Kiamco is on the verge of taking the biggest lead of the match so far. If he can get out here and go up 8-5. And if you look on the scoreboard, you'll see race 13/15. Warren Kiamco, if he gets to 13 first, he will have to go to 15 coming from the B side. And Mike Dechaine gets 13, he will be crowned the champion. So Warren's in a hurry to get to 13 real quick.
And he's looking good for this game.
Yes.
And he has the next break.
That's
He's
right.
full
So-
cruise control right
Yeah.
now. Nobody in this pool room but him and that table.
And we still have plenty of pool left, right, Al?
Yeah, plenty of pool left, folks. This is going hill. Bet it. I wouldn't bet it that much, but I'd bet it.
Warren just kind of looks like steel.
I'm about to say, at this point, it's like a walk in the park in the afternoon. The
Yeah.
sun's out, everything's wonderful.
Isn't it
and
nice
it's
when that
just
happens?
you know,
Who knocked Warren into the losers bracket?
Jason Clanton. He just got revenge against
Okay.
him.
yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Jason is a hell of a player.
Yeah, Jason had his break going in that match.
Yeah.
I was watching that match.
Yeah, Jason Klott, he had a good tournament. He was real happy about it. I mean, there's plenty of players in here, folks. I don't know if you're just joining us today, but we had the likes of Shane Van Boning playing in this. We had Mikey Wong. We had Laurie John Hassan. Coker, of course, was playing. We had Kevin Chen. Actually, Kevin won the China Open, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or something out in
I think he
China
won a
just
major
before he came in.
tournament out there,
Darren Appleton, Hunter Lombardo, Jason Shaw, Jeffrey Ignacio, another Filipino, Jeremy Sosi, Jimmy Kong, Johnny Moore out of Canada, Martin Diego out of Canada, Carl Boys all the way from the UK, and so on, 64 players strong.
Yeah, I was going to say Mika Eminen.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Jason Shaw.
Thorsten.
Thorsten.
Yeah, Jason Shaw.
Just enormous.
Tony Hopeless.
Tony Robles.
Tony,
I kind of like that. As
not
a ring,
practicing enough anymore.
it's got a ring to it. Tony Hopeless.
That's Gail on the phone now.
Uh-oh.
Stop doing that.
One
Then
ball,
again,
corner ball.
one in the
ball,
side
corner ball.
again.
But look where he put the two.
Yeah.
You
Well, the
can't
two
put-
was down there, but the problem has been, that's why I said, when he's doing that cut break, the two stays at the bottom. It doesn't come back up again.
But you know,
Unless you
if
hit
you
it
do
harder.
the cut break and you rack the two next to the
To the one, it'll bring up.
and the opposite, they both go up together.
Yeah, what he was doing earlier in the match before this, he was doing the cut break, but letting off on it and keeping the cue down below the
Gotcha.
on the bottom string, and then the two would stay with it.
Now, in this tournament, in the last tournament that I played, and the two ball had to be racked in the back of the rack.
Yeah, not in this one.
Not
in
in
this
this,
one.
okay.
Nope.
What do you
I'm gonna
do?
have to have a talk with Warren.
What do you
later.
do, bump to
Show him a
7?
couple of things.
You bump to 7 here and just give him the kick.
You know, it's you have to be very wise with the push out here because Mike is such a great defensive player and kick. He kicks very well too.
Well, I mean, you give him a kick
So-
shot. There's no guarantee.
Right. Well, the question would be, where would we play the safe off of the?
yeah.
Because I wouldn't think that Mike's want to come in and play offense. So he's
That's what he's going to do.
Leave the cue ball uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bump
he's
to
gonna
7.
put it-
Because leaving, that's my model too. Always leaving as
I didn't think he was
comfortable
going
as
to leave the
humanly
cue up
possible.
all the way up that far, but
Now Mike's going to probably try to put him behind the 3.
maybe he'll kick the 2 and call the 8.
No, I think
No.
he knows he has a possibility of putting him behind the 3 and the 6.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think it's a
he's just
matter
gonna
of
put the-
hitting it thick enough to get the 2 to go up.
right to
you
come
know?
up and not hit the 9. That's the only thing. He's got to pass
Yep.
the 9 and then
Laurie,
put
your
himself behind the
input?
3.
Yes.
Her input is,
How's
I
that?
concur.
I agree.
Yeah, you're right.
Put your hands up. You got me.
Yep.
You've been hanging out too much with my wife.
Yeah.
What he
I've
said.
been enjoying. I've been enjoying my time with Gail. He's not gonna. Well, he can't. He's
thinking
not
about
gonna
giving
come
it back.
behind it. Yeah, I was gonna
One of
say.
the things
No,
he is thinking about giving it back.
he's gonna.
because-
He's gonna do exactly what Tony said. I
Yeah,
think. I sure wouldn't give it back.
No, you don't want to give it back because you know
Man, I
Warren's
kicked
going to be able to
myself.
do it. That's what
Right.
it is.
Your
So-
opponent
No,
gets
and
up
he's
there.
doing it.
Your
He
Oh,
gave
opponent-
it. He gave it
man.
to him. He's gave it to him. I think.
I don't like
You know
doing
what I
this.
think he feels? He feels that if he hits it full enough, he's going to end up running into the 9. He's
Yeah.
not going to have enough speed on the cue ball. I think he has one
Right.
of those funny angles.
But he's
But
going to
you
let
know-
Warren do this. Warren can do this. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
the shot that Warren likes.
He'll probably hit it with a little spinneroni there, just enough to get behind the 3 ball, right? Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at the
Yeah.
touch. Look at that touch.
Yeah.
What a touch that was, huh?
That's what that is, yeah.
And
It's just
and
two
I-
different players' touch on how
I
they go through stuff.
absolutely think Mike could have
Mike
done
is,
that.
and now
Oh, yeah,
Mike is
absolutely.
kicking himself.
He's,
yeah.
Of course he's kicking
And
himself.
now he's kicking
because
himself going, why did I do
He's
that?
a great player.
Yeah.
He could have done that.
I turned around after Warren shot that soft touch and got the safe out of it. I turned around and looked at his backer, and his backer looked like the moon on the honeymooners years
Yeah.
ago with a big smile on his face.
But Mike's
good
called the cross-side
bank
shot.
shot.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, he did?
Yep, he did.
Yeah.
And he's going to
pretty
make
good
the
at
cross-side
cross-side
shot.
Fabulous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bravo.
No, he's very, very confident with the jump stick.
Yeah, with the jump stick. It's almost if it's nothing's there.
Do you know that jump stick's made out of part of a golf club? Like
Oh,
that
really?
Fiber stuff. Yeah, it's custom made.
Bamboo?
Is that legal?
I don't know.
Get out there, foul 'em.
Bark.
And that's upstate Al for you
There
folks.
you go. Yeah, let's just end the match right here by fouling him on that. And
Illegal
we
use
want
of equipment.
We want
You're
it to
outta
last
here.
longer. Let's not cut this match down.
I have no clue what that's made out of. Trust me. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Now he's great. He didn't expect to hit that 4 ball, but he's a great. I'm assuming
Yeah.
he couldn't bank the 3 past the 8. I don't know
No.
because
No.
he's great bank.
Yeah, no, he's
shot
a great
shooter.
bank shot shooter. Joking around. I was hoping it'd go a little bit longer than that. I think he can see it.
Yeah, you can.
Yep.
Would you
But-
cross bank this, Laurie John, or would you try to make it and go on the other side and then play it safe on the 4 and go for a cut? It's a tricky one.
Interesting. Yeah, probably.
He cuts the balls
Probably
in like it's
yeah.
a joke.
Yeah, I'm
I
about to
know,
say he
that's the
cuts in
problem.
and he also
I mean, I can see him cut the 4 and go 1, 2, 3, 4 rails and
I
play the 6
can't
in the
see him
side.
cross banking it necessarily. Yeah.
no.
I'm surprised he did that.
And
I
yeah,
wouldn't have
see
shot
was
it, not in a million years. I
Yeah.
didn't think he was going to shoot it, but
Cue ball that close to the rail is
No.
difficult.
yeah, the problem was he wanted to take it straight across the 2 rails
yeah.
and ended up
That would have been nice, yeah.
killing it a little more, right? Because he wanted to come back on that same line and be on the right-hand side of the 6
Mm-hmm.
for the 4.
But the cue ball was so close to the rail, that's the reaction that he got.
Yeah.
He couldn't get enough power either. I mean, he hit that
The
with as
angle.
much
Right.
power as you can hit it, and I didn't like that shot. No.
I would have hit it softer and wound up cutting the 4 in the
Do-
upper.
doing the
and
in
then
the
go
opposite
1,
corner.
2, 3, 4. You know,
Right,
with
yeah.
the cue ball.
With-
If I overcut it, then he can make me shoot again.
Right, he can make him shoot
know.
again on it.
Or
Right?
do the cross bank safety.
Or yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right.
That was the shot that you mentioned in the beginning. I
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at.
Yeah, he has to hope he doesn't run into the 8. He hit that great.
Yeah.
He did.
That
And
was
trust
some
me, he
shot.
meant to do that.
Yeah.
He meant to do that.
No, he meant it. That is some shot.
You know, with
Warren's scratching his head
cross
when he comes to the table. 'Cause
What was that,
Which is-
Long
that's a
John?
good thing. I'm saying with cross banking, it's for me sitting here like watching it on the screen. It's difficult to see like exactly the angles, 'cause
Yeah.
sometimes it's, it's a double kiss possibly, or you got to put inside English to miss the kiss, or
Right, right.
something of that nature.
Look how good he hit that
But
kick.
I think we're hitting it with the right speed, even
Oh,
you're not,
yeah.
you cross banking it to play it, but with the right speed to leave the
To
safe
just leave
afterwards,
it
sure.
safe.
But you got to call it, or you got to call safe in this tournament. So I think the cross bank, like you said, Tony, but calling safe was the shot.
Yeah.
Are we on a
He's-
player's break?
I don't know.
And Mike
if
is
Mike is
standing in camera
talking.
3 here. Yeah, Mike's.
I think he's
I think
trying to
it's a
figure out
break.
if because Warren King's so close to the pocket. I think he's trying to figure out
I didn't want to
Yeah.
catch that. Mike testing his knuckles out a little bit.
either
making sure
Warren
they're still
either
there.
Warren took a break or he's trying to figure out if he either played that or meant to play safe.
no,
Oh, that's right. It looks like he's working
no,
on a jump
no,
cue.
No, Mike. Yeah,
What's he doing here?
Mike is looking at. I think he has a problem with his tip.
Oh, the tip came off. Look, there's no tip.
Yeah.
Yep.
He lost the tip.
Oh,
That's why he's unhappy. Oh,
For everyone who's ever asked me why I have
think
two
he's-
shafts.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I think he's
That's
taking
why.
a break now
Yeah.
because now he's got to go out to compose himself.
All right, so we're on a player's
Your,
break, huh?
your stick becomes your baby.
Yeah, it is.
And so you're so used to it and being a certain way that
I try and practice really hard using both of my shabs, even though I absolutely have a favorite.
right. But what you end up doing is putting the same tip on both shafts,
Yeah.
unless you're a straight pool player, and then you end up having two different shafts with tips. But
But you always have a favorite shaft, even
Yeah.
though they're the same. You know, you got the same dimension, the same because I would always tell like Bob Mucci, I'd be like, no, I know this one's a hair thicker, and we'll go. You know, we'll take the millimeter thing, we test it, and he's like, sorry, they're both 12 and a half exactly, and I'm like, this one feels different. I just I like this one better, so I have to get used to both of them.
right, it's like no, this is not. It's 12 and 9/16. It's
Exactly.
not 12 and a half. I'm telling you, I can feel it.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's the shame with that is it actually ends up affecting Mike because it's in his head now. You can see the first reaction by the just the punching of the table, just being angry, but it's just like it's a bit of a surprise.
It's all right. You know what, though? A champion, you got to overcome so much. You've got to overcome strange things that happen to you in the middle of a match, and you've got to overcome, your tip popping off or anything else. So.
No, it's true. His
He's-
problem
he-
right now, he's trying to overcome Warren. And that's the problem.
Exactly.
Is Warren is
Warren's Warren's up 8-5.
right. Warren is not giving him anything to work with. So right now Mike has got the one miss in this
Right.
match.
Yeah,
And that's
you're
it.
right.
We only have
You're
one miss,
right.
and Mike's got it, and that gave him a game.
Yeah.
That gave Warren a game, and then
That gave Warren a few games, actually.
like it
because
gave him one, and then he broke
and ran
and
out.
so it gave
Got
the
out.
momentum to him, and
Yep.
so that's been the difference so far in this match. But it's a big enough difference on an alternating break even to remember it's the same thing. You got to hold serve, break and be able to get out, or at least break and win on your break win your games. So
Very much. That's really important with the alternating
alternate
break.
break.
It's just, wow. Makes a difference, It's. I think it was designed, years ago, even in the women, when the women started bringing it in. And I was laughing because I was out during that time. I wasn't playing. And I'm like, please. Like the girls really think that doing alternating break is going to stop Allison Fisher, Karen Core, Guy Young Kim from winning tournaments. No.
no, they're gonna
Because
keep doing.
they're going to keep winning. They're going to continue to keep winning.
I'm going to get my broomstick from the TV show. It will break. It's guaranteed
I don't think Mike will find that funny is to come in with a broomstick and go, here, this works. Try this out instead. We did it in the show. It worked. So.
make a broomstick. No, they should stop making one for him because he's doing something for him. It's like the second one robot.
He actually broke the whole furrow
He broke the ferrule off the stick?
off the stick.
Yeah. No, you could see that because you saw it at the end there. It was that the ferrule just.
I'll give him some lessons with the broomstick.
Yeah, you've done that. Predator is making what is called Godfather stick. A broomstick with the little leather tip.
With the tip on the end of it.
What is
Can go on with a nail. So.
8-5, Warren.
See, the thing that's going to, I think, will start to change soon because even as the pool is evolving and the players seem to be just getting better and better as they're going through this, is will they start to do a combination within it. So you play a 9-ball, but you're only allowed to make it in these two pockets. Which is what, they're trying to figure out a way to change things a little bit to make it around.
You can't, because the great players will succumb to anything that you throw at them. We're going to learn, and we're going to a great shot. What a great shot.
Yeah, with the 6-ball. He's got to get to the 6 here.
he thought that he could see it. And then he turns around and
Yeah.
smiles and goes, I can. It's really tight.
It is.
I can maybe just a little masse around it. Just a touch. But now, he's going to take out his jump stick. Oh. That'll be the second missed.
Yeah. He could,
It's a tough
devil's
shot.
advocate, boy, he could have gotten a better roll on that.
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
he could have. Yeah,
that
no,
was a bad roll. He made a great shot on the 4-ball. He hit it just wonderfully, and then
And got a bad roll.
Yeah.
And so with that, and then this, it's just the side pockets are just not that forgiving. So
no, you better hit him in the side pocket.
yeah, here
Yeah.
you hit a point, it's coming off.
Yep.
So
I was saying that I liked these pockets very much. The whole table, the way it's playing, because it's fair. You can cheat the pocket. You can get that real nice speed. Sometimes when you need to cheat the pocket, hit the rail and it goes in. And a lot of times it's a legitimate shot. It's not like you're missing. And I don't like tables that don't take that. That's a phony table to me. So these tables are really. They play so true.
Yeah.
yeah, there is a little forgiveness, but if you
Yeah.
do hit it too hard, it will
right.
reject it. And in fact, Warren before in an earlier shot
9-5.
hit both side facing just before the ball dropped. So
9-5 Warren. And
yeah, the momentum's on his side at this point.
Totally.
So Mike's going to try to regroup and
yeah, he
bring
has
himself back. Yeah.
He has no choice. No. 9-5. Okay. What do you think?
I don't know. Back to the table. He's breaking.
Yeah.
Now the thing here will be is to try to calm himself, not to do the overbreak, which is what occurred in his last
Exactly.
the last one. Hitting it too hard and not getting a ball.
We'd like to give a big shout out to OBQ's, Mike's sponsor. And, being pool players, we all know that things do happen. So obviously a tip coming off doesn't hurt at all,
No, it
towards
just-
the face of a company at all.
Just happens. You don't know who put his last tip on.
Yeah, well,
We want to welcome Alex Bakorbachov, and that's not his real name, but I call him Bakorbachov. He is Russian, the contingency, and he is the backer of Warren Kiamco. We'll give you a shot of Alex in just a second.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
There he is.
the key here is that Alex is not allowed to show any favoritism at all to Warren while he's commentating. in this
I'm
match.
not. I think Michael's playing an incredible tournament. I don't even think he's slowed down. It's just a couple of bad rolls, a miss here, a Q-tip there, and I'm happy for both of them that they're in the final.
Now, when you get down to it, it was an extremely strong field for both men to navigate through and
Just to go
get to the finals.
undefeated
Right.
to the final, like Mike did. It's an incredible
There you go. See,
feat.
that was the much more controlled break.
Much.
And 3 balls pocketed.
How do you like this layout? Wow.
You can beat that.
No, this is like a road map here. This is good.
Enjoy the match, everyone, and thank you.
Okay,
Tony
Alex.
is back.
Okay. Thank you, Alex, so much.
We had a partisan fill-in person.
Well,
No.
us at the AZB TV booth, we'd like to give everybody a shot. We actually found people on the road, and we're always trying to get people in the booth. And some of the people that don't want to get in the booth, they're kind of shy off it, just on naturals. And anytime you get a chance and come on down to the local location where we're streaming from, hey, if there's a seat, you're in it.
No,
as Tony Hopeless comes back. I mean, Tony Robles.
That's what I feel like sometimes when I'm playing Tony Hopeless.
I'm never going to forget that.
Yeah, I'm keeping that one. It's a keeper.
No, I'm just being honest. When he was announcing the names of the players in the event,
Come.
I still enjoy the game, though. I love it. Well, he made 3 on the break there, and got perfect on the
Yes.
1 ball. So, but I didn't get to see what happened with the 4 ball. Did he try banking it and missed it or something?
No, he banked it and made it and didn't get a shot on the 6. And then
right.
had to do a jump shot to try to
Then
make the
did a
6.
jump on the 6 and ended up hitting the point from it. So we're to 9-6 now.
Hey, I like the diamond shape there. Pretty
Yeah.
fancy.
Yeah.
Pretty fancy, Mr. Upstate.
Trying.
He does good.
Thank you. Many hours.
About the
in
same.
the office at home, playing with wires all over the place.
Just a couple of hours spending some time trying to figure out how to work on getting the diamond to open and close, because it is not as easy as you think as people go through it. So,
Well, Laurie, John, I mean, you've been here how many days already with your amazing husband?
I think we got here on
Thursday,
I don't know what
right?
day, thank you. Well, Thursday the tournament started, so Saturday.
Friday to
I got
Saturday.
here. I don't
You got
even
here
know
on
what
Thursday.
day it is. I've been here too
Welcome
long.
to the club.
Thank you. See, that's what New York does to me.
So how have you enjoyed your time here so far?
Considering that we're staying with you in Gal, it's been wonderful. Yes.
Honestly, I haven't seen you guys much because I've been so busy with the tournament, but I'm really super happy that you're taking the time to spend time with my wife. Because
I
she
second
is
that.
wonderful. She is wonderful.
Not with my wife,
we
but
were
that you're
playing.
here.
She had us playing heads up with the phone thing, and you had to guess. It
Yeah,
was,
that's a great
Yeah, we did some serious laughing this afternoon.
And every time I get home, Laurie John is always sitting on the what we call the cat napper. It's this recliner that's like the most comfortable chair you ever sat in. They sell it at Bob's Furniture.
I haven't moved.
And it's called the cat napper.
Is
You
it
sit
really?
down, you feel like you're going to fall asleep right
Oh,
away.
that's a
She'll tell
beautiful
you.
thing.
I was there all day today.
Oh, look at that.
well, there we
look
go.
at that.
Now we've gone the
Look.
other way, right? The first
Okay.
time he hasn't made a ball, and I'd have to say, this set, that's the first time he didn't make the one in the side pocket. And then he ended up scratching.
You know, it's hard with the break. You know, even if you have something that's working, you have to be 100% mechanical and hit it the same way every single time and rack the same every single time, and it's just not going to happen here and there.
Yeah, no, there is. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a
there's
lot more room for
lot of-
error than you could imagine
Exactly.
going through it, unless you're a robot. I mean, that's what
Exactly.
that becomes up to.
And unless the robot can find the exact spot,
Spot
on
on
the
So I'm pretty sure both you and Dave realize that Isabel and Kevin are as awesome as I said they were, right?
I'm gonna bring Isabel back with me, and she's gonna make lasagna for me.
Oh, so you had the lasagna today. Did you finally get to the lasagna?
Again.
Again. Oh, okay.
How about again? And one of your customers was clearly upset because there was only one more lasagna, so I ordered one lasagna and one ziti with meatballs, because Tony touted the meatballs, so I had to have the meatballs too. And I heard the customer. He went like I'm walking back to come into this room, and he goes, "No," and I'm like, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, Dominic, did you order the lasagna? He went, yes. I go, sorry, I got the last one.
Well, it's okay because Dominic is one of our players here and gets to eat lasagna,
All the time.
pretty much every other week. So my wife changes the menu weekly for different specials, so it's not that she'll override us.
What a great
Yeah.
out.
A meal. So Warren had his first mistake, and Mike capitalized, bringing it to now 9-7.
But the mistake Mike made earlier when he missed that 2 ball that he jumped up on, is what
That
caused
cost.
this big
Yeah, it
lead.
caused the bigger lead to go
Yeah.
through. So
You know, and when you make a mistake like that, you asked about the 4-ball bank. You know, if when things are going your way, he would have probably banked the ball and come just about maybe a quarter of an inch
right.
to the left, and miraculously would have been able to see that 6 ball instead of having to jump.
Yeah.
And those are the roles that, players talk about a bad role. I think you create your roles.
That's
You know,
right.
and I think you have to, when you make a big mistake, you have to start running racks and start creating your good roles again, because you get punished. You just
That's
do.
right.
You just do. You make a bad decision, you get punished.
The game is not a very forgiving game.
Not at all.
All right, let's see if that corner ball pops in again. He made it last time breaking from this side. Boom.
7
right?
goes
and
right
he stopped
in.
the cue ball there, right?
Yep.
And playing position for the 1 ball. Look, he gets it, the 1 ball in that side pocket corner pocket every time.
Every time, yep.
So it's worked on the other side in the beginning of the match. It stopped working. Now it's working on this side.
No, it's working on this side. And he's, picked up 2 balls on this break, and he hasn't been the last 2 breaks now. He's calmed his break down just a little because he can get a lot more power into it besides what you just saw, although that people watching that, it is a powerful break. You can hear it and see it, but he's sort of relaxed it a little more.
Wonder if he's going to get the zigzag angle. Right?
It's more about the follow through. It's
Than
funny.
it is
I used to always watch thinking it was the body, and Jason Shaw just taught me the last tournament. He said, no, he goes, you stroke through, use your arm. Use your arm. Don't use your body. He goes, when you use your body, because you have a tendency to like come up and you actually take power away from the break. And I'm like, no, that can't be, and he's like, so he kept racking them and had me, breaking and breaking and breaking. And sure enough, hate to say it, but he was right.
It's picking its arm speed through the ball.
It is.
So you continue it. If you stop it,
It is. And it gives
the
you that
velocity.
nice pop, gives you that nice speed. It's not too hard, it's not soft.
And more importantly, it increases the chances of you getting the cue ball to end up on the playing surface as it reaches a 1.
Right. As opposed,
As
to being in the air.
in the air and hitting the
slightly
head,
up.
and then transferring the energy at an upward angle as opposed to in the dead straight angle.
Dead straight angle, right. Because what will happen sometimes is you'll get the 1 then popping off the table. Or
Yeah.
Man, he makes me
Hopping
nervous.
up.
He does remind me of stinking Alan Hopkins because he makes me nervous when he plays like the shot that he just shot. He kind of like, there's a difference between him. He always looks like he jumps up in the air to me sometimes, but he doesn't. It's a stroke through and then they come up.
He does it after the fact.
And he does it he just did it on the 6 ball, and Alan used to do that and make me just a nervous wrack watching him because I always thought he was going to miss. 9-8.
We got one hell of a
9-8
game
Warren.
here, huh? Now, that's how you like it. Now, I want to see a hill 14-14.
Sorry, Alex passed me a Russian dessert. Don't ask me what was in it.
Well, I mean, they know all about
good.
Russian dessert. They had a
man.
huge meal yesterday, right?
My niece married a wonderful Russian man, and they took us to a Russian restaurant yesterday, and we had so much food. I think I ate enough for the weekend. Yes, your lovely wife dabbled a little bit in the dessert today and ate the pierogies
really?
with us. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
She
like
She did very well on the leftovers.
I told you, she's a leftover queen.
We killed
She's a
them.
leftover queen.
November 7th, 8th, we got something big coming up, Tone.
Yeah, it's Steinway Billiards.
In fact, mentioning Jason Shaw, he won it last year.
Mm-hmm. It's the New York City 8-Ball Championships.
At Steinway. We'll be live streaming it.
No,
Ooh.
too soft.
Yeah, but that 5 tried to
tried,
get
but
kicked
it
in,
was-
Right, but the bigger one was the 1 just fell short of the side. And that's
Yeah.
what he's still going for. He was still trying to do his cut, making the 1 on the side. He's not looking for the corner ball to go.
And don't be surprised if he jacks up here and comes back and forth, or
He's going to try to hit the 2 coming off.
no, he was jacking up a bit, but
That was a hard
it's a surprise
shot.
because he normally makes those shots.
But for that, I would have gone forward, not jack, because you could have come around 2 rails to come to the 2.
Sometimes bumping into balls can get you in trouble if you can avoid it. You know that, Kev.
No, I know that, but
Yeah.
that was one where he was hoping to just pull it across.
Yeah. He was going back and forth, yeah.
Yeah.
It's brutal, this game, sometimes. You know, Mike's tip did fly off. And he doesn't have another shaft. And that's surprising.
He doesn't have another shaft?
He doesn't. He was just on the phone with OB and let them know that he didn't have his other shaft with him. He probably does have another shaft somewhere.
Ugh.
Just doesn't have it with him.
Side pocket or combination?
Is he shooting with a Predator shaft, Tony? Is that does he have that on his?
Who, Warren?
No, Mike.
Mike?
Oh no,
Well,
no, he's
straight
with OB.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but you know, a lot of people are changing shafts and putting
Yeah.
Predator shafts on different sticks.
Yeah, but you can't. That's very difficult to have a sponsor and then use a different shaft
that's
because the
correct.
shaft is for me. I mean, you know, the butt is the pretty part of the cue, and then you've got your shaft, which is the cue, you know, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, a lot of players do that though with different companies, not only Predator, with different shafts, and they experiment.
Well,
with them.
they all, you know, I know Predator and Mucci, and they all make them to fit other
Yeah.
cues. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Warren uses a Predator shaft.
Maybe.
I really like that stick that you got down there at the Super Billiards Expo this year, by the way. It was really, really, really a fancy stick. Really
I
nice.
liked it too.
Yeah. Boy, was Bob living it up.
Yeah,
He
that
had
was
platters of shrimps going all over the place.
Oh, I
Which
know.
Bob?
Oh my
Unbelievable.
gosh. Bob Mucci, he met this, he actually met this woman who I think she worked at one of the restaurants, I don't know if it was Red Lobster or whatever, and she brought over for all of us these huge things of shrimp cocktail. And I mean, like not just
Platters.
platters of it, and I mean, yeah, platters. We were just chowing down on shrimp cocktail.
That's why you told me you'd talk to me later. Didn't even offer me a piece. Wow.
There wasn't enough.
Just joking. Talk about Red Lobster. Are we going to have some lobster tail tomorrow or what?
Wow, yeah, you got to have
I think
those.
I've like gained 5 pounds just being with you.
Gained 5 pounds just looking at the lobster
Just
tail.
looking at it.
Warren
that was a
Kiamco is
really-
answering back here.
Yeah. That was such an important game. I don't know if Mike
Yeah.
shot too fast or you know, or there wasn't much to do. I mean, I understand, you know, you had to go for the shot, but
William Finnegan, the godfather of pool, is here running the tournament with us. Why don't you say a couple of words, Finnegan, about the event and what you thought about it?
Stand right there. Stand right there behind Tony.
They're putting the Godfather on the spot. Trying to relax, trying to watch Mike Dechaine. Where are we? Yeah, how you doing up there?
They can't see you, Finn. Move over.
Come on.
You got to go
Put your
between
face in the
Lori and
picture.
Tony. There you go.
They saw me
Bend
on,
down,
they saw
bend
me on
down.
TV.
Yeah, you see,
There he
he's
is.
got the little,
Look,
he's got the
it's
little,
the
you know,
hair.
He looks like Kojak.
it's no, it's not even the Kojak. He's got the little shirt going with the, you know, the little gray collars on it.
What do you think, Finn? How'd the tournament go?
I think the event was great.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, yeah, a lot of top international players here, I tell you.
Well, listen, before we go back to the match, right, why don't you show them the picture that you and Mike Dechaine been going back and forth with? Come on,
No,
we
come on,
gotta
can't. It's
show us
classified information. I don't. If I
We all have clearance. Don't worry about it.
If I show that, they're gonna get very upset at me. They're gonna say, "What?" Let me see if I can find it. I might have deleted it.
Just text it over to me, and I'll put it right up on the screen.
I think I deleted it.
You never delete anything like that.
yeah, I was going to say, you don't blackmail pictures, you never delete.
I deleted it.
Another control freak right there.
Nope.
Gail, too. Same way.
I deleted it.
Yeah.
We delete them ourselves.
I
but
deleted it. I don't have it. Really? No, I did. Mike
inside
Dechaine is not
English,
my favorite
What a
friend.
great shot.
So yeah.
Don't
Now,
you?
that was such a pretty shot. Inside English
Who was
just
that?
came right around.
Big head.
Yeah.
Stretch the cue ball out just enough.
Big head. You're
Yeah,
so
big head.
bad.
I don't like him. He
Mike
knows it.
makes fun of himself. There's plenty of stories going on. And they were talking, in fact, it was Mike talking with Ara and Jason Shore, and they were talking about the baby walking now and some of their relatives' babies walking. And Mike said it took him a long time to walk because his head used to hit the floor. Mike said that himself. I mean, he had us rolling.
He couldn't keep his equilibrium. That was what he kept saying.
Let me
I kept
tell you.
falling.
Oh,
I did not like
no,
that.
No.
Trouble.
Wow.
Is he snookered?
Wow.
All right,
He's
all right,
snookered,
let
yeah.
me sit down.
He snookered. That would have been another shot. I would have gone forward as opposed to trying to push the balls out of the way.
Can you see it?
I
No,
think
might
you
be
might
able to
be able to see it.
yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
Beautiful shot.
That's why he's a number 2 player in the United States.
Fearless.
Oh, it's going to be 10-9, right? Does Mike break next?
Mike breaks
no.
on
We're at
even
2
numbers.
rounds.
Yes.
So Mike's breaking.
2, 3. Nice shot.
No, the Mike just broke here, so Warren
Oh,
comes to
Warren
the table.
breaks.
Yeah.
So what I did enjoy, you know,
What?
getting to know Mike Dechaine at the Tornado Open.
Oh, he was there?
Yeah, and that's where I told him I had no idea who he was, and
Right.
you know, I mean, I didn't. like
who-
Johnny Archer. Johnny Archer's like,
Who wants to know him anyway?
he's a great player. You know,
He's a great
I'm like, who is he? I like he came out of nowhere, and suddenly he's on the Hustlers, and you know, and everyone's like, oh, Mike Dechaine.
I don't even know how I have no clue how he got on the show.
But he won my heart with little Liana. He's an idiot with her, Jason's daughter.
Oh,
He's just a complete blubbering. You give him like Liana, and he's like, "Ooh," and he does all the little noises and and he makes her laugh. And anyone who has that kind of heart with a little baby, he's all right.
he's all right when he's off the pool table.
Yeah.
Like,
Actually,
wait.
on my Facebook page, I have a picture of Jason, the baby, and Mike all together.
This is who the picture that he said that he showed Mike saying that this looks like Mike.
That's Mike Dechaine, baby. There he is.
Droopy dog.
That's him. Mine's Mike.
Yes.
There he is. There's
Yes.
Mike Dechaine.
There it is.
I'm posting up on Facebook later on tonight.
That's the picture that Finnegan says this looks just like Mike Dechaine.
There he goes.
Yep.
That's him.
I didn't put it up there.
Droopy dog.
Droopy dog. Yep.
Now I'm going to show you what Mike Dechaine did back with.
Poor Mike. Wait till he sees this.
Warren getting to break. He's
Come on, Warren. Make a ball.
10-9.
Yep.
I'm not rooting for
There
him.
we go. No.
Did he make a ball?
missed it. He missed it again. The 1 was short, and the 5 stayed in the pocket. The 3 stayed in the pocket this time. Same as the last break.
I think his speed changed.
Yeah, it did. It slowed down.
Little
He's
slower.
trying to he's almost trying to control it or steer it into the side.
He's got a problem with the five ball.
Well, no, he's been trying to do the one on the side. He's been fairly successful for most of the match. And the last 2 breaks now he's come up dry. The one is
Eesh.
Whoa, look what he
He
did.
came, yeah.
He don't like that.
That's all right. 4 and the 5 are tied up right now, so
And just
Play
for
it
the,
safe.
he'll play safety.
just to defend Mike a little bit, Mike sent the picture back to Finnegan after Finnegan says this looks like you, and this is what Mike sent. Mike sent that back. He says, Finn, this is you.
It's not Uncle Fester, it's Uncle Finster.
The
Right.
Uncle Finster.
Uncle Finster.
Wow.
I know. I tried. I tried to hear you
Little
find
window.
these computers.
Can't hide anything anymore now.
Oh, once it's out there, it's out there.
So how do you like?
Like what?
I'm playing a match the
Oh,
other
now
night.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
And my husband's in the corner watching my match, and
I didn't even know who he was.
he comes up to me. He has no idea who my husband Dave is. Dave has no idea who I know him as Finnegan. And so Dave goes, he goes, man, he said, you missed, he goes, you jumped up on that shot when they all screamed at that table, he said, and he goes, I yelled at this guy. He said, I told him this, you're playing and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, his name's Billy. Do you know him? And
Oh,
I said-
Billy Finnegan, yeah.
And so I said, Billy? I said, no. I said, I have no idea who you're talking about. So like a couple hours later, Finnegan comes walking up and he goes, that's the guy. I go, Finnegan? It's like.
They were blaming me, but I said, listen, I'll shut the whole table down right now. I apologize. But you
were
beat him anyway.
shaking. I know.
You beat him, and you were beating him by a
Yeah,
lot.
That's all right. Go on.
You beat Spanky Kaba.
Oh, I just. Oh.
Almost beat him. You beat him, though. You beat Spanky, right?
No.
No.
9-9.
9-9?
Hill.
Hill.
Yeah.
Killed me.
Well, he accomplished
That was
what
a
he
great
wanted
shot.
to
He
do.
broke the balls open?
Yep.
Damn, he's so lucky.
He doesn't know what he's doing, right? He's
I don't
just.
think so.
He's just sheer will to make the balls and get out.
Well, when he played on the show, he didn't play like this. He was missing everything. You gonna draw back?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, not enough. Long distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Needs
got
to
to
stretch.
loosen
I mean, he
up.
can make
gotta
it.
stretch
but
out,
it's
yeah.
it's a low shot.
Just draw it to the rail back out. He should be okay. He's got that stroke for it.
Yep.
He just simple strokes, simple everything. He just gets out.
He's got such long distance firepower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason also. Both of them. Very impressive. In fact, Jason was your team partner down
I don't
at
even
the
wanna
volcano.
discuss it.
Volcano.
We're
That-
not discussing that.
All right.
Jason's gonna have to learn
Tornado
how to
Open.
play position for his partner. I'm like, Jason, I said I don't want like long, even on bar table, I don't want a long cut shot that like should have been hanging in the pocket.
How about
But
double
those shots,
tens, folks?
Jason doesn't bother those shots.
He-
Doesn't seem to affect him. So to him, it's like, that's good position.
That's the problem. I like easy shots. I'm leaving him like straight in the hole, straight in the hole, straight in the hole. And then he'd shoot a shot and he'd
Well,
go,
it's 10-10.
oops, oops,
You know,
I overdrew.
it's so hard for a left-hander to play with a right-hander, and you know, because the left-hander's muscle memory is cueing the, getting the cue ball set for his next shot, and then all of a sudden the partner's a right-hander. If you don't practice it, but you know what? It was fun. It was really fun. It was
That's
a great
the only thing
tournament.
that's the only thing that you take away is the laughter and the fun.
Well, if you're not having fun, why do it,
That's
right?
exactly right.
And Vivian, fun
10
to
to
be around.
10, we've got a
Yes.
great, what a great final.
And Vivian, if you're listening, we hope you're recovering that
I
wrist of
know.
yours. Was the wrist or the arm?
No, the arm.
The
I like,
arm.
and not in one spot, in a few.
Multiple?
Yeah,
Wow.
multiple.
Scary.
After this wreck, I'd like to thank all our sponsors that helped put this together.
You can thank him right now, don't?
He's still looking at his rack because he's been struggling to
Yeah, I
to
wanna
rack him
thank
tight.
Predator Q's, the NAPL, Poison Billiards, Ron Mason of Gotham City Technologies. He didn't make the corner ball there, by the
Nope.
way.
It's all right, he made something.
And azbilliards.com and Ozone Billiards, Joe DeVito, the DeVito team, Delta 13, Pool on the Net, Rob Bowman, Phil Capel, who's here watching
Yes.
the final, and Pool and Billiard Magazine, AZBTV, and Billiards Digest as well. We couldn't do it without you guys, and I want to thank you for your support always. It means more than you know.
Sure does. There are no tournaments
Yeah.
without sponsors,
Oh,
so
yeah.
thank you. I don't know if he has a
No.
little window. Does he have a
He-
window
he
here?
must have a
He must
window
have a
'cause he
window
Yeah.
because
just-
he's looking
he-
like he's looking.
I think he can make that.
He's got a very-
he's deadly with the cut shots.
He's
Yep.
got a very small window to get to
The great
to
shot.
13
Unbelievable.
before Warren does. That's
But you
the
know,
small window
sometimes
he's
you see
facing
just
right now.
enough of the ball that all you gotta do is hit it and it goes in.
Now, if Earl was shooting that, he would have turned around to everybody and said, "It's okay to clap.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's."
That's the small window he's looking at, getting to 13 before Warren and putting this tournament under his belt. Safety called behind the 9 here. Didn't quite get the 2 behind the 9, but the cue ball's hidden behind the 7, 8 up top. Is that the 8 up there or the 4? 4 ball.
I don't know about for you. It's really important for me personally to make the decision to hook the cue ball or the object ball. When I try and do both, I mentally I always like let one out, or one sneaks out, and if I just concentrate on the cue ball, it'll end up hooked where I want it to be.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
And that's one of the things I actually
Uncharacteristic,
teach my
right
students.
there.
I always tell them you have to focus on one or the other because it's so rare that you end up with a shot where you have to focus on both the speed of the cue ball and object ball that I actually can't think of one.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like committing to a shot. You commit to a shot, whatever it is. People commit to, for not in this tournament, but if you're playing the 9-ball combination. But if you miss, you're thinking this. If you miss, you shouldn't be shooting the combination.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I got to go for the shot and go for it fully, and it's either going to be a win-win or.
Yeah, it's like
or not.
Nick Varner used to tell me, you can't play not to lose. You have to play to win.
Exactly. There's been very few mistakes overall in this finals, but very costly. The very few mistakes that were made by each of them are.
Well, if
very
you remember,
costly.
Mike was down 8-5.
Yeah,
a three-game
it's a
deficit
three-game
like
swing.
that with the format, of alternate breaks. It's hard to come back like that. Especially, look.
Shows a lot of heart.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're shooting against champions. He's a champion, and you're shooting against a champion. That's a feat in itself, just trying to do that. And last time I saw that, Shane Van Boney was playing Jason Shore in a race to 100, and I was live streaming it. And Jason was down the first day by 21 games. Came back the second day and wound up taking the lead. Shane won it overall by a few games, but just coming back on Shane like that, and it's amazing.
What's hurt Warren here has just been his break. He's come up dry the last couple of racks and given Mike the chance.
And missing that kick.
And then the one kiss, yeah.
I don't ever think about a Filipino missing a kick shot.
Scary, right? Well, Mike Dechaine now
Takes
regains
the lead.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was wondering if Warren was going to take a break.
He's got to feel pretty good about that right now.
Yeah.
He's not a break type of guy. He likes to just keep running out whenever he can. He loves to play. They're so used to playing for hours upon hours upon hours, so pretty much used to it.
No pun intended. He's not a break type of guy. His break hasn't been working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look for it as a self-momentum change.
Well, he's got to come with a good break here. Keep in mind, folks, if Warren does not get to 13 and Mike gets to 13 first, he's the champ. If Warren gets to 13, then it's an extended race to 15. See what Warren can do with the wing ball here. Mike's been making the wing ball. Hit him a little harder, I think, is the key here, Warren. Again, he tones it down.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't
He's
like to break it all right
he's
now.
trying to steer it now. You can tell
Yeah,
by
like
his
he's trying to
break,
steer
he's
it in,
trying to
right?
steer
Yeah.
the one in. And,
Or the corner ball, because he keeps missing the corner ball by a hair.
but you see him, he's looking at the one because he keeps checking to the side like, where am I hitting it?
Mike's got another beautiful layout here. The inside 3 rails come back underneath the 2 here. Play the long rail, short rail up top, just missing the 5 ball and getting back to the middle of the table for the 2. And 2 to the 3, and he's got wind behind him. Uh-oh, speed counts.
Yeah,
Yep. He hit that a little bit.
a little fat.
A little
Don't be
fat.
surprised if he
Yeah.
banks this in, because he's a great bank shot shooter. He really is.
Yep.
Do you take that shot, Tony, right now?
Not me, but I know he would.
Really?
Yep. And then he's going to come. No, it looks like he's playing safe.
Behind the 7?
He's going to try to come back behind the 9.
Yeah, but
Well, he
that's
hit that good. Look at that.
That's just smart.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
I don't care what happens, and it is a smart shot.
It
You
is.
know,
It
you
is.
bank. You kind.
If you're ahead by 5 or 6
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going to say he's playing Warren. He's only up 1 game.
Right.
You can't. Can't take chances like that all the time.
Wow. He almost left him on top of Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Those are the toughest shots when you have to shoot over a ball.
And Mike is good at that. We were
That's
talking
right.
about that
Yep.
before. He's great. Great shot.
Just makes those shots look like hangers.
It
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
really does. Such a difficult shot to not only
Just-
make but control the cue ball.
Well, it's just a
It's
smooth
beautiful.
stroke.
Yeah.
It was just like
Well, he's going to have to be smooth here.
Mm-hmm.
Fall ball is
Just
the
make the
ball,
ball.
on the short rail at the bottom of your monitor.
Slow roll it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
And don't get over the 7. It's good. He didn't made it.
Mike Dechaine is
They used
on-
to call him Mike the Pain Dechaine.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
what is it they call him now?
Fireball.
What's that?
Fireball.
Fire-
Mike Fireball Dechaine is on the verge of going on the hill here, folks, and possibly winning this entire tournament undefeated.
That's an unbelievable in this field.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Great player.
I saw that picture.
Whoa.
What a great shot. He knows it. He's like, ooh, he hit. That says, I'm going to win the tournament. I want to win the
I
tournament.
hope I have the
you
score
know.
right. I don't think he's on the hill right now.
No.
No.
No, it's.
Okay.
No, he just got on
He
the
just, yeah, he's on the
Yeah.
hill now. What a great
But he's
shot.
breaking.
Boy, did he play that.
That's why he's on the hill and breaking. So
How cute is that?
Cutie pie, I know. I did a lot of exhibition matches between these two up in Ohio. What a sweetheart. And Mike Dechaine, one time the baby was crying. She was a little uncomfortable. It was late at night, too. She must have been annoyed. And she was crying way back in the back of the pool, and Mike missed the ball. He said, that baby's crying in the back of the pool. Of course, joking around. You know, they were just putting on an exhibition, but what a great show. Mike Dechaine on Hill.
What,
you know,
what a
we
turn
want to
of
personally
events.
thank Mr. Buckley and his family. His
Yeah,
wife
they-
is always busy back there helping the customers, and he doesn't do much around here. Actually, he's lucky he got a chance to sit down. He's been busy all weekend long. We want to thank you, Kevin,
Thank you.
so much for having
And
us
thank you
here.
for giving us the opportunity to run this
Yeah.
event. It's awesome.
Awesome is right.
this event couldn't be so wonderful. Wasn't run professionally as it was. Having the players to show up and play. It's just been an unbelievable event.
That's the key to the
So-
whole thing. The players, absolutely. The talent that you had where here was worldwide talent. Mike Dechaine, that wing
he
ball
goes.
finds its way into the corner pocket. The one ball is kind of dressed up as the 5 comes to rest. We don't really have a camera on that angle. Let's see.
Incredible thing is he was down, what, 8-5, Lo?
8 to 5. Yep.
8-5, and he's won 7 out of the last 9 games.
Yeah,
You know
we
how
see.
hard it is to beat Warren Kiamco 7 out of 9 games?
On an
It-
alternating
it,
break.
It all came
On
down to the
alternating,
break.
yep.
It all come down to the break. Mike was taking advantage of the Warren's break, and that's the outcome. Playing smart. And you guys up there in Snookers in Providence, Rhode Island, I know you tuned in. Ray Mack and the whole crew up there has probably got their hands going and fist pumping right now. for your house pro, Mike Dechaine. Can't blame you. And we're going to see you November. Yeah. Okay. Let me bring up the graphic real quick as Mike is settling in. November 21st through the 22nd for the Ocean State 9-Ball Championships combined with the Josh Northeast 9-Ball Tour. And we're going to be streaming that right from the New England Billiards Hall of Fame room. With the likes of the names of Rick Marcos and Jim Rempe and Mike Zuglin and the late George Ginky Sansucci and Tommy D'Alfonso and Mike Dechaine numerous times. They have banners hanging all around that room. And shall you win that, the banner will be up there on the wall. Your name is up there too, Mr. Robles. Twice,
yeah,
I think.
Back in the days when I was young, yeah.
How things ever get so bad? No, but you're up there twice, aren't you?
I won it twice, and I
Yeah.
lost in the finals 3 times. I almost won that tournament 5 times.
Jeremy Sosi won it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No female names are up there, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't believe so.
Are you trying to ask Laurie John if she wants to come up there and play?
I would be a first.
We'll
room.
sponsor her
Great
to
room,
go up
Tony.
and play.
Great
Uh-oh,
room, you know.
uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Did he call it? And it scratched anyway.
That might be all she wrote.
Yeah.
Might be. Mike's tasting it right now. He's just got to stay settled in. One
Like
ball
I
at a
said
time.
earlier, the guy's so hungry. He's got that eye of the tiger that you see in Rocky 3 when he fights Mr. T.
I would love to play that music on the stream, you know, but
Do you know what's
copyright.
Do you know what's great is Charlie Ursetti. I grew up with him behind me all the time, him and my dad, and he used to take me in the back room, and he used to put on Eye of the Tiger, and he used to rub my shoulders and go, "Okay, listen to the song, listen to the song," and he'd pump me up.
Sort of like a boxer, like pouring sugar water on your head, right? Go get him, Tiger.
He'd bump me up before
awesome.
everything. So.
Hey, that's that's what it takes. Look at your pops, your father. I mean, every time that you went to a major event or just about any tournament that I went to, and you were there, pops was there.
Yeah.
Or all the time, and that's
That's
the kind of
supporting.
support. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, it's important to have support, no matter who it is.
Correct.
Someone in your family, someone in
I
your
want
life.
to thank everyone and thank Irene Kim, too, who's part of my team, as well
Yes.
as Rob Bowman.
And that's one of the I'm sorry to cut you short, but that's one of the people that are shy. And I had her on the mic at Steinway. We were doing some tournament. I think not the Ginky Memorial, the NAPL Championships. I think it was. And she is just like a natural. And I know you're listening in out there. And we need you in the booth next time too. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, I'm just going to go outside so that I can congratulate the players.
Yeah.
And Kevin might want to come with me to present with the trophies. So
Yeah,
thank you
please.
for tuning in,
Okay,
everyone.
guys,
I'll leave
thanks
it-
for sitting in.
Trophies are
Thank you.
beautiful too. Yeah.
Yes, they are. Well, folks, there you have it. Warren Kiamco concedes, and Laurie John, we can't thank you enough, and
Wow.
I know you want to get out there and congratulate
Yeah,
everybody
for
also.
sure.
We want to
Thank
thank
you
you
so
for sitting
much.
in. Anytime. My pleasure. Laurie John Hansen. Sorry. It's just my bad habits. Stepping out of the booth, folks. That's the end of the show. We're going to see if we can pull in the first, second place, possibly the third. No, Jason Klatt left, but maybe we can do some interviews. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to get them in the booth. Okay, and we'll do some interviews. Just give me a few seconds here. I want to find out what's going on out here. Where is everybody? Where are they? There's Warren wrapping it up.
Where's Kevin? Oh, Kevin. Hey, Nick, can you get Kevin for me, buddy? A little bit calmer, you know, and focused. No, that was a strong comeback. You wouldn't have had a problem. Incredible. I told you well, son. I told you well. Tell you what,
second last 4 tournaments. Tornado Open, Vegas.
You won the right one. I'll tell you that. Especially before the Open. Kevin, you ready? I want to make sure he keeps the trophy. Yeah, that's fine. Go. Warren, buddy.
He's good, right? Okay.
Come back.
Lucky. Couldn't do it against a better opponent.
You can always find a way.
About to smack me in the top of my head.
You did
Okay.
good.
Okay, second place, Warren Kiamco. Round of applause.
Thank you.
In first place, Mr. Mike Dechaine, 2015 champion. Thank you for coming, guys. Thank you so much for your support.
I'm sorry for getting mad. Listen.
All right, first of all, guys, we are hot on the mics, and here they go. First place and second place winners of the tournament. Mike Dechaine, Snookers is going nuts right now. You know it. Ray Max got it up on the big screen, and here he is.
Nice
Mike,
lead night there.
Tony, questions away. Fire.
Well, I mean, as both of you know, this the owner of Gotham City approached me 2 months ago, literally. This wasn't supposed to be a pro stop event because of the passing of his sister. You saw how emotional he got before we started the final. We had the moment of silence, and it really meant a lot to him to have you players here. How did it feel to play for someone that really loves the game? He's a very successful businessman, just so you know, and he really doesn't need to do this, but he wants to do something for the pros so badly. He figured this would be the perfect opportunity. How did you feel first, Warren, then we'll get to you, about playing the Memorial Tournament like this?
Oh, I'm really glad. I'm very happy that I'm one of the part of this event because I saw Kevin. He's a nice guy. I've known him for maybe 4 years, and he's a really nice guy. And he always invite me to go here, and I'm glad that he put some good tournaments like a professional tournament. And I hope that they can do it again by next year or
Yeah, I'm pretty confident after the turnout this event that he's definitely going to do it again. We spoke a bit about it, and I'm pretty sure he spoke to Al about it.
Numerous times. And he plans on doing it. Yeah, he absolutely
also
does.
he has a nice forum, all the table is diamond,
Yeah.
Yeah, he can.
And he put new cloth on the table for you guys to make sure. So that was pretty strong. I mean, no one came up to me this week and told me they saw a ball skid. That's
Oh,
pretty
right.
strong.
He keeps the
That's
equipment
pretty
clean.
strong.
There was
real
that one
clean.
ball, Tony.
Yeah. Okay.
No, just kidding.
So go ahead. So what do you feel about playing
One second,
here?
T. One second. Let me ask you a question, because there's a lot of buzz that was going around this whole weekend, and everybody was saying that this is such a great warm-up tournament just before you're going to play in the U.S. Open.
You're
What do you
right.
think about that?
You're right. Yeah, this is a good warm up because all the players here are the same players they are going to play in the U.S. Open. So it's gonna be, it's like I saw
Cowboys.
Darren Appleton.
Yeah.
He posted on the Facebook that he said that this is a good tournament because it's the good warm up before the U.S. Open
A
tournament.
lot of talent here.
Yeah.
Well, we
yeah.
want to congratulate you for
All
your
right,
second
thank
place
you.
win.
Thank
That's
you guys
for sure, my
for
friend
your,
Tony. Go ahead. You have any other questions?
Nice job.
Yeah, no, I wanted to ask Mike the same question. How did it feel to be able to play in such a emotional memorial tournament in honor of Kevin's sister?
This was a great tournament. You know, Kevin did it right, and when he opened up the pool hall, putting in the diamonds is something every pool player can ask for. You know, it was a great warm-up tournament. You know, same equipment that's going to be used at the U.S. Open, and the 9-ball on the spot was something new and exciting. I think it was a great event, and I'm looking forward to coming back.
Awesome. So how do you two feel about the Open now? I'm pretty sure you feel warmed up, right?
Yeah, Mike, you
Yeah,
pumped
yeah,
up? You ready to get down there? Congratulations.
We are excited about to go to the U.S. Open. All the players are very excited.
Very.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, congrats again on the great performance by the two of you. We're happy to have you here, and good luck in the Open.
Very well run tournament, Tony.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Very
you.
well
Thank you,
run
guys.
tournament.
Thank
Guys,
you.
take care,
Thank
and
you all.
congratulations
Yeah.
once again.
Congrats,
Congratulations.
Mike.
And you guys got to thank Upstate Al for all that
I'm
he
all
does.
good.
I'm
Thanks,
always
Upstate Al. You're the best.
Well, folks, there you have it. As they tear off their headphones and they want to go out there and grab something to eat, it's been a long day on both ends. On the end of us here in the commentators' booth, and the players had a long day, a long weekend. And as you heard it, what a warm-up tournament this is just before the U.S. Open. So with that, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we are officially done with this tournament here. And it's just photo op right now where everybody's taking pictures. And I got to shut it down. And I just want to say to everybody out there, if you're traveling, stay safe. We appreciate the support. And we're looking forward to doing this again right here at Gotham City Billiard Club. I'm Upstate Al of AZB TV, and on behalf of Gotham City Billiard Club and all the sponsors that are on board, we want to say goodnight. Take care. And just to remind the folks, we will be back with these players and many more players coming up from the U.S. Open. We're coming right into Steinway Billiards for the 4th Annual Steinway Classic, November 1st through the 3rd. Be there. You can purchase your pay-per-view pass at steinwaybilliards.com. And as you've seen, we did show you the U.S. Open logo. And that's Mr. Pat Fleming and the crew. We'll be heading that up. Make sure to check them out at accustats.com. Good night, everybody.